Chapter 6182. Lin Xian did not expect that so many things had happened in the past 6 months. The tragedy of the war had exceeded his imagination. Fortunately, he had returned. He could attack the enemy now. He harumphed coldly and slashed the black python in half with a wave of his hand. The python let out a miserable cry, but it could not resist. He waved his hand, and endless sword chi flew around. He freed all the people who were chained up. Clanking sounds could be heard as all the chains were broken. The spirit needles on the top of the experts' heads were also knocked away. Were they saved? The experts cheered excitedly. They had given up all hope and accepted their fate. They knew that they were going to die. However, they did not expect Lin Xian to come and save them. Thank you, Lin Gongzi. No, thank you, great Emperor Lin. These people thanked him. The savage wilderness ancestor came to Lin Xian's side and said, Lin Gongzi, hurry up and save those people. Many people from the Divine Union have been captured. They are in danger. I know. Lin Xian had received the other party's soul and found out some things. Many expert souls were locked in the soul-suppressing pagoda. Now Lin Xian was going to go. Please take us with you. We also want revenge. The expert said. The savage wilderness ancestor said, we also want to help. Let's go. Lin Xian waved his hand and formed a dragon's shadow. It circled around these people and left quickly. They went to the soul-suppressing pagoda. At the same time, there were many figures in the abyss of the hidden Emperor Star. Among them, there were a few figures gathered together and frowned. Among them were the Crimson Dragon, Gu Santong, the Yi family head, and others. It turned out that these people were from the great Emperor clans and the Divine Union. However, they had already left their original place. The Yi family head sighed and said, we can't go on like this. The Crimson Dragon said, it seems that we might have to leave the hidden Emperor Star and go to the deity land. Gu Santong said, that's the only thing we can do. The Gu clan is responsible for opening the space tunnel. We'll leave this place for now. In the future, when we are strong enough, we will kill our way back. After discussing for a while, they began to prepare for action. They didn't know that Lin Xian had already returned. At the same time, Lin Xian was heading towards the Soul Pagoda. The location of the Soul Pagoda was actually where the Divine Union used to be. It had to be said that this army of ghosts was too arrogant. He wanted to suppress the Divine Union so much that they would never be able to raise their heads again. Lin Xian's face turned even colder when he heard this. In next to no time, he arrived at Saint Source Ancient City. At this moment, there was no one left in the sacred Origin Ancient City. Instead, there was a cold and gloomy aura. He could sense that some of the remnant souls had shattered. At the same time, there was also a black pagoda standing between the heavens and the earth. This black pagoda was too terrifying. Countless, miserable cries could be heard from within. Savage Wilderness Patriarch said, this is the soul-suppressing pagoda, and it's one of them. Don't worry, I'll save them now. With that, Lin Xian slammed his palm forward. The golden palm carried an unparalleled aura as it shot towards the 9 heavens. With a loud boom, the heavens and the earth shattered, and the soul-suppressing pagoda shook violently. Countless cracks appeared on the surface of the pagoda. Then, with a loud crack, it shattered into pieces. How powerful! The savage Wilderness Patriarch and the others were astonished. One had to know that the Crimson Dragon and the others had tried to sneak an attack on the soul-suppressing pagoda before, but to no avail. The Crimson Dragon was already an Emperor Lord, which meant that an Emperor Lord couldn't break the soul-suppressing pagoda. However, Lin Xian had shattered the pagoda with a single palm strike. How terrifying was Lin Xian's strength? Was it above an Emperor Lord? The soul-suppressing pagoda shook violently before it broke open, and the millions of souls inside rushed out. Ha ha ha! They were saved! Run! Although they didn't understand what was going on, they didn't know what was going on. However, This was their only chance to escape. At the same time, a group of people in black robes rushed out. They roared, "Who are you? How dare you attack us? Do you want to die?" At the same time, someone said, "Take out the soul anchoring pearl and freeze the area. No one is allowed to escape." For black pearls appeared and froze the area. In an instant, the entire space was completely locked down. The souls that had escaped were once again blasted back. One by one, they let out miserable cries. Know why? These souls were in despair. This was the best chance to escape. However, they were too weak to escape. At the same time, the ghost clan members also began to search. Who is it? However, they didn't find it. They only saw a huge golden palm in the sky and slapped down. This golden palm carried the power of 9 suns. It was extremely vast. After it slapped down, a large number of souls were turned into ashes. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, it was an emperor lord. Damn it. The ghost clan members screamed crazily. They were no match for it. Do you think we don't have emperors? Please help us, emperors. The other ghost tribe experts roared angrily. In the next moment, a figure walked out. This person was extremely ferocious. He was a great emperor. His name was Ghost Wolf Great Emperor. He was the soul of a demon wolf. He devoured the souls of countless powerhouses and condensed them. At this moment, as soon as he came out, he roared to the sky. His claws covered the sky and the earth as he attacked the golden palm. Wherever it passed, everything was turned into ashes. The battle between emperors and the extreme power swept across. The surrounding souls were in despair. They would definitely die if they encountered such power. Were they going to be turned into ashes? However, the intense battle that they imagined did not happen. After the golden palm was blocked, Chu Feng's expression changed drastically. Then, a sword light slashed down from the sky. Like a flying immortal, the sword split Ghost Wolf Great Emperor into 2 halves. Ghost Wolf Great Emperor let out a crazy roar. "Who are you?" He was extremely frightened. The other party's power terrified him. This was an unfathomable power. "I am Lin Wudi." A cold voice came from the sky. Then another sword slashed down. Immortal sword. Lin Wudi. Impossible. The person who was hit by the heavenly punishment was already dead. Ghost Wolf Great Emperor roared crazily. In the next moment, he was enveloped by the power of an immortal. With a boom, his soul was destroyed. His emperor blood dyed the sky red, and all the battle had ended. Lin Xian descended from the sky. He stepped on all directions and looked down on the world. At this moment, he seemed to have become the only one in the world. Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw the scene. The people from the ghost race were scared silly. One of their great emperors was killed in an instant. This was simply beyond their understanding. In their opinion, great emperors were high and mighty. They would not die. Who could kill a great emperor? But now someone did it. Moreover, it was done easily. As for the other souls, they were even more excited. Lin Wudi. Is it Lin Wudi of our hidden emperor star? Oh God, he's not dead. This is great. Some souls were so excited that they cried. Among these souls, there were Shangguan Shaoxian, Nailin Liang, and the others. It's Junior Marshal Uncle who's back. Boss Lin is back. We have hope. Chapter 60, 183. Lin Xian waved his hand, condensed the power of heaven and earth, and flew forward. Immediately, the power enveloped Shangguan Shaoxian, Nailin Liang, and the other injured people. Soon, the souls of these people recovered rapidly. They were overjoyed. What a powerful method. Where are your bodies? Lin Xian asked with a frown. These people were only in the state of souls. Shangguan Shaoxian flew over and said, Junior uncle, our bodies have been taken away by them. Lin Xian was stunned. In the next moment, he turned his head, caught a few people from the ghost clan, and began to search their souls. After learning the situation, he snorted coldly. This young Master Gue is really ambitious. With a wave of his hand, countless sword chi shot out in all directions, and all the Ghost Clan troops were turned into ashes. There's still 3 soul pagoda left. Let's go. We'll take care of them all together. Then we'll save your bodies. Lin Xian rose into the air. With a wave of his sleeve, he enveloped the world and took all these people away. He went to the 2nd soul pagoda. At the same time, some people on the Hidden Emperor planet were also suspicious. For example, the Crimson Dragon, who was hiding in the canyon, exclaimed, "Just now I seem to have felt a powerful force flash by. Was another martial monarch realm cultivator here? But I didn't feel it. Could it be that there are more strong masters coming from the other side? Damn it, don't tell me they want to kill us all at once." Gu Santong said, "We've quickly built a space tunnel. 3 days. 3 days later, we can leave here." The Crimson Dragon nodded. "Okay, no more enemies will come in these 3 days." They still didn't know that Lin Xian had returned. At this moment, Lin Xian went to the 2nd soul pagoda. He was very powerful. With a slash of his sword, the soul pagoda shattered and countless souls flew out. Those from the Ghost Clan naturally wouldn't give up and attacked fiercely. Each soul pagoda was guarded by a great emperor. However, when Lin Xian saw it, he frowned. It was only the combat power of a great emperor, but it was not a great emperor. It was like a power formed by the fusion of countless souls. Even a true great emperor would not be able to match up to such means. However, it would be too easy to deal with other quasi-emperors. Furthermore, the soul pagoda itself was a treasure pagoda. Even if they were to encounter a true great emperor, these spirits should be able to hold their own. Bayan was really good at scheming. This should be the work of a ghost immortal, right? He had yet to meet any ghost immortals. However, he dared to guarantee that this army of ghosts, including young Master Gue, would be annihilated. The 2nd soul pagoda was guarded by a black elephant. The elephant was also formed from millions of souls. Its trunk was long, and it swung out to envelop Lin Xian. "Go to hell!" He let out an earth-shattering sound. However, Lin Xian shattered his body with a single punch. Then the 3rd soul pagoda, the 4th soul pagoda. When the 4th soul-suppressing pagoda appeared, the ghosts wanted to escape, but they turned into smoke and disappeared. Lin Xian sneered. Heaven and earth in the sleeve, a sword shook the sky. With a wave of his sleeve, countless sword chi flew out and killed everyone easily. Even in death, these ghost race people couldn't believe that the Hidden Emperor Star had such a terrifying existence. As for the spirits, they were stunned. One had to know that they had launched a terrifying counterattack previously. The great emperors had attacked together with their supreme weapons, but they were no match for the ghosts. However, Lin Xian had come and killed the great emperors with just a few moves. Could it be that Lin Xian was already a super big character? Looking at these spirits, Lin Xian said, "I'll use a sword chi to escort you back first. Next, I'll look for your bodies. Junior Marshal Uncle, let us go together. We can also contribute our strength." Shangguan Shaoxian and the other said. Lin Xian shook his head, "No need. I don't care about these people at all. Go back first and tell the people of the Divine Union that I'm back. Let them be at ease and don't let them take any more risks." Lin Xian was very worried that the Crimson Dragon and the others would take risks. "Okay, I understand." Shangguan Shaoxian and the others nodded. In the next moment, Lin Xian shot out a sword light that turned into a giant dragon. It took Shangguan Shaoxian and countless spirits and flew into the distance. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he continued on his journey. According to the information he had obtained from the Soul Search, these ghosts had captured the experts of the Hidden Emperor Star and placed their souls in the soul-suppressing pagoda. As for the corpses, they were placed in coffins one by one. These coffins were all transported away. However, they did not leave the Hidden Emperor Star. Instead, they seemed to have gone to Mount Eternal. This was a forbidden land of death. Moreover, it was the place where the immortal supremacy had been. Of course, the immortal supremacy had already been killed. However, the immortal supremacy's aura was still extremely terrifying. People below the great emperor level could not enter at all. Why did the ghost race send these bodies to Mount Eternal? Lin Xian felt that it might be a huge conspiracy. Thinking of this, his figure flashed and he headed to Mount Eternal. At the same time, there were many figures standing on Mount Eternal. These were also black-robed men. Among them, there was a black-robed man riding a bronze horse and holding a long spear in his hand. He was extraordinarily mighty. This time he actually had a body. The black-robed man laughed loudly. Not bad, not bad. The body condensed by Mount Eternal is indeed good. I feel that there seems to be an immortal and indestructible power. Another old man also laughed. Don't worry, these bodies will enter Mount Eternal and be tainted with the power of immortality. Then we will transform them into bodies suitable for us. When the time comes, I, your souls, can use them as a vessel and merge with them. Our strength will become even more powerful. Moreover, we will continue to devour these people's souls. When the time comes, the entire Hidden Emperor Star will belong to our ghost race. I heard that there are many great Emperor clans and sects in the Hidden Emperor Star. When the time comes, we will attack and seize their treasures. Some great Emperor clans have left behind a lot of things. If we get them, young Master Gui will definitely reward us. These people were all experts of the ghost race. The man riding the bronze horse was called Gui Ma. The other old man was called Gui Mu. The rest were also experts. They were very strong, surpassing quasi-emperors. They were not real great emperors. However, they had the strength of a great emperor. Among them, Gui Ma was the real great emperor. So that's how it is. This is your goal. You want an indestructible body. However, you guys are really naive. Since I'm here, all of your schemes will be destroyed. Suddenly, a cold voice came from the sky. It shocked the people in Mount Eternal. The people of the ghost race all looked up at the sky. A few peerless experts snorted coldly. Who is it? Get out here. Gui Mu waved his hand. In an instant, his palm seemed to have transformed into a black forest. It covered the entire sky. No matter who it is, you will die without a doubt. Extract his soul and make him suffer a fate worse than death. A few cold voices sounded. However, at this moment, a flame lit up in the sky. Then, the black forest instantly turned into ashes. Not only that, this flame turned into a sun and instantly enveloped Gui Mu. With a boom, Gui Mu turned into ashes. Chapter 6184. The death of Gui Mu frightened the people in Mount Eternal. So powerful. A powerful enemy was attacking. Gui Ma shouted angrily, "Let's fight the enemy together." Immediately, many experts rushed out of Mount Eternal. They were all facing a great enemy. Boom! In the sky, a large golden hand fell. You're courting death. The top powers of the ghost tribe below roared and attacked one after another. The bronze spear in Gui Ma's hand pierced out, shattering heaven and earth. The two collided, and the golden flame hammer fell, enveloping the ghost experts. Immediately, the ghost experts screamed and turned into ashes. In an instant, a large number of ghost experts died, and the bronze spear was also sent flying. Gui Ma took a few steps back, his blood boiling. The others were stunned, and those who were still alive trembled in fear. What kind of strength was this? Was a super great emperor coming? Who are you? We are the ghost experts under young Master Gui, and we belong to the army of ghosts. Behind us stands the ghost immortal, not someone you can offend. Leave quickly and I'll spare your life. Otherwise, your heart and soul will be destroyed. No matter what kind of expert it was, when they heard this, they would be scared silly. After all, behind them stood the earth immortal, the Permitha. Was the ghost immortal so great? Was the Permitha so great? One day, I will personally destroy it. A cold voice came from the sky. Then, a figure that looked like a sun war god appeared. Everyone looked up. What a terrifying aura! The members of the ghost clan were trembling. They felt as though they were melting. This power of the sun was naturally restrained by them. Who are you? Guema gritted his teeth and said. He seemed to be threatened and didn't dare to resist. Who am I? Lin Xian smiled. Listen carefully, it's me, Lin Wudi. Now that you know, you can kneel down and wait for death. Lin Wudi? The ghost experts were stunned. What a familiar name. They thought for a moment. Suddenly, Emperor Guema's expression changed. You're the Lin Wudi from the previous universe. Impossible. You were hit by the heavenly punishment sword. You're already dead. How can you still be alive? His face was full of shock. A person who had died in the legends had actually appeared. Furthermore, it was right in front of them. Struck by the heavenly punishment, dead. Lin Xian sneered. Is this how Higan deceived you? You guys are really stupid. How can a mere sky law kill me? Not only am I here, but I will also send you to hell. After saying that, he slammed his palm forward. Let's go and tell young Master Ghost that Lin Wudi is still alive. No, tell Lord Ghost Immortal. Tell all the experts of the Nirvana realm that Lin Wudi is not dead. Now that he had returned, they had to send experts to kill him. Guema roared angrily. Those who were still alive quickly ran in all directions. They wanted to escape. Lin Xian sneered. You think you can leave? With a wave of his hand, a beam of sword energy shot into the sky. Then he let out a dragon's roar and transformed into tens of thousands of dragon shadows, directly enveloping Mount Eternal. At this moment, everyone looked up into the distance. What a terrifying aura! Did another dragon tribe expert descend again? Is the Dragon Emperor back? They didn't know. However, those ghost tribe experts who wanted to escape were all blasted back. A few tried to escape by force, but in the end they were torn to pieces by the terrifying dragon shadow. I'll fight you to the death. Guema roared and rushed over, the bronze spear in his hand extremely fast. However, he was caught by Lin Xian. Lin Xian landed a kick on his opponent's body, shattering him into pieces. Was the difference so big? The other experts of the ghost tribe were stunned when they saw this. Guema let out a blood-curdling scream as his body fell to the ground. However, in the next instant, her shattered body actually began to heal. He gritted his teeth and said, I am an immortal existence. I am immortal and indestructible. Lin Wudi, no matter how strong you are, you can't kill me. After saying that, he rushed over again. He said, I'll stop him, you guys break out. Guema wanted to fight against Lin Xian alone. Lin Xian smacked him to the ground with a single slap. Boom! Guema was slapped into a bloody mist again, and the bronze horse under him also turned into pieces. A terrified voice sounded. How can you be so powerful? What kind of power is this? It's not immortal chi or divine fire. Could it be that you have successfully merged with the power of an immortal? Lin Xian snorted. That's right. In the distance, Guema's figure appeared again, and his face was extremely pale. The power of an immortal? No one had ever used the power to split heaven and earth. But now, it was used by the other party. Great emperors of the same level were no match for him at all. He had to pass this information to Higan. Guema didn't want to fight anymore. He wanted to escape. Lin Xian was surprised. You're not dead yet? Even if the other party was a great emperor, he couldn't have survived after being hit by the power of an immortal. At this moment, Lin Xian was determined to kill. He didn't hold back at all. However, after 2 moves, the other party was still alive. How strange! The power of immortality. Impossible. Even the immortal great emperor was dead. How could this guy still be alive? He used the Rinnegan and enveloped the entire space. In the next moment, the corners of his mouth raised. So that's how it is. You attached a trace of your soul to the energy of Mount Eternal. This is the reason why you can't die, right? However, after the soul is shattered, let's see if you can still live. After saying that, Lin Xian pointed his finger and charged into the depths of Mount Eternal. Guima's expression changed drastically. He didn't expect that the other party would be able to see through his trump card so quickly. Guima's heart beat wildly. No, he roared like crazy. He got this method from young Master Gui. It was an extremely mysterious immortal art. After he came to Mount Eternal, he separated a part of his soul and merged it with the mountain range of Mount Eternal, with the help of the power of immortality. Sure enough, in this area of Mount Eternal, he was an immortal existence. Even if his body was killed and his soul destroyed, he could still be resurrected. This was also the reason why Lin Xian couldn't kill him in 2 moves. However, now he was in danger. He wouldn't let Lin Xian succeed. He resisted with all his might. However, how could he be Lin Xian's opponent? Lin Xian snorted coldly and suppressed the other party with 1 palm. Then he slashed out with his sword and split Mount Eternal. A large crack appeared in Mount Eternal. In the next moment, in the depths, there was a pale face. That face was filled with the power of the soul. It was attached to the power of immortality of Mount Eternal. This was Guima's face. Destroy! Lin Xian shot out a ray of reincarnation light and directly hit the pale face. That pale face was twisted with malevolence as it let out a miserable cry. In the next moment, he turned into ashes. At the same time, Guima also screamed and turned to run. Now he didn't have the ability to resurrect. Boom! Lin Xian's big hand was like the sky. It directly slapped down and suppressed him to the ground. You can't kill me. If you kill me, the army of ghosts won't let you go. Young Master Gui will kill you. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Don't worry, I won't kill you now. I will torture you well. At the same time, he also asked about young Master Gui's situation. Chapter 6185. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Guima went crazy. One could imagine how miserable his fate would be. A hint of madness appeared in his eyes. Damn it, I'll fight it out with you. He wanted to destroy himself. However, with a single slap from Lin Xian, all of his power had been shattered. In front of me, you can only live if I want you to live. You can only die if I want you to die. Otherwise, you can't do anything. Lin Xian looked at him and said coldly. At this moment, Guima felt as if he had fallen into a 10,000-year-old ice cave. Infinite fear appeared in his eyes. Next, Lin Xian began to collect his soul. Soon, he learned that young Master Gui was the disciple of the Ghost Immortal. He was now in charge of the Hidden Emperor Star. Young Master Gui was a super great emperor and had received the true teachings of the Ghost Immortal. His strength was extremely terrifying. In the entire Hidden Emperor Star, he could be said to be invincible. However, the current young Master Gui seemed to be planning to seize the ancient tomb of a great emperor. Therefore, he didn't have the energy to attack the Hidden Emperor Star for the time being. Instead, he sent his subordinates. In addition to young Master Gui, Lin Xian also learned some things. What surprised him was that the top combat strength of the Ghost Clan was unknown. This surprised him. Logically speaking, there should be a number of great emperors and quasi-emperors who came to the Hidden Emperor Star this time. However, in Guima's soul memory, he wasn't sure. Lin Xian continued probing the other party's soul and quickly understood. It turned out that young Master Gui had a method. To be precise, the Ghost Immortal had a method and taught it to young Master Gui. The army of ghosts could devour the souls of others to strengthen themselves. They could even devour each other's souls. Once they devoured too many souls, their strength would be too strong and they could create characters comparable to great emperors. Of course, they wouldn't be real great emperors. Their combat strength should be infinitely close. He actually had such a method. As expected of the Ghost Immortal, He was indeed strong and mysterious. Lin Xian's face was cold. He had to get rid of these ghosts. Otherwise, all the martial artists on the Hidden Emperor's Star would be in danger. While Lin Xian was interrogating Guima, on the other side, Shangguan Shaoxian and the others also flew back. They entered the Grand Canyon. At the same time, the people in the canyon were on high alert. They saw a huge dragon soaring through the air. That huge dragon was extremely terrifying. It bared its fangs and brandished its claws. Its momentum was astonishing. Is Long Xiaotian here again? Everyone was shocked. The Crimson Dragon roared, "He's gone too far! I'll fight him to the death." They soared into the air, ready to risk their lives. However, they were soon stunned. This was because they discovered that there were people on the dragon's body, and there were many of them. There were some souls that were drifting about. At the same time, a shout came from the soul. Martial Uncle Shenlong were back. She was Shangguan Shaoxian. The Crimson Dragon was stunned. In the next moment, he saw a tall figure. It was the savage ancestor. There were also people from other clans and sections. Weren't these people captured and thrown into the Soul Pagoda? The Crimson Dragon knew that. He had led his men to attack the Soul Pagoda twice, but both times he had failed. He was on the verge of despair. Who would have thought that these people would actually come out now? What was going on? They dashed over. The dragon in the sky swung its tail and landed on the ground. Shangguan Shaoxian and the others floated over and said excitedly, "Young Martial Uncle is back! Young Martial Uncle saved us!" Young Martial Uncle? Everyone was stunned. The Crimson Dragon was ecstatic. "Is Lin Xian back?" "Yes, it's Lin Xian," the savage ancestor also said. Nalin Liang cheered wildly. "Boss Lin is back. Boss Lin is so powerful. He killed a great emperor with one slap. Lin Xian is really back. He's not dead. That's great." Only a few people knew that Lin Xian had gone to the Land of Destiny. The other clans and sects, including the Yi family and the Gu family, didn't know. They all thought that Lin Xian had been hit by the heavenly punishment and his fate was unknown. There was even a possibility that the chance of survival was very small. They had even despaired at one point. A prodigy of the generation had fallen in the starry sky. But they didn't expect that Lin Xian was still alive and had returned. Not only that, he was extremely powerful and could kill a great emperor with one slap. Why did it sound like a dream? That's great. The Crimson Dragon and the others were happy. "Where is that kid?" Shangguan Shaoxian said. "He went to continue looking for our bodies. I think he'll be back soon." "Good, that's great. We can finally take revenge. Let Lin Xian lead us to kill these ghosts. Hurry up and inform Gu Santong to stop building space tunnels. We don't have to leave. We'll fight them here until the end." Someone went to inform Gu Santong and the others. When Gu Santong and the others of the Gu family learned that Lin Xian was back, they were all stunned. The next moment, they were all ecstatic. "Lin Xian is not dead. That's great. I knew it." Gu Santong clenched his fists in excitement. 100 years ago, when he learned that Lin Xian's life was unknown, he was sad for many days. One had to know that if it weren't for Lin Xian, he wouldn't have achieved so much. Now that Lin Xian had returned alive, he was naturally overjoyed. Everyone in the Grand Canyon was excited. Not only that, the Crimson Dragon said, "Spread the news. I want the entire Hidden Emperor Star to know. Lin Xian is back. We have hope." Soon, these people began to move. The Gu family used their space techniques to continuously transmit the news. Not long after, the people of the Hidden Emperor Star heard a voice. "Lin Wuti is back. Lin Wuti is alive. Lin Wuti has become a great emperor and has returned. Our Hidden Emperor Star has hope. Don't be afraid of the ghosts." After hearing this, the people of the Hidden Emperor Star were also stunned. Lin Wuti, 100 years ago, the peerless genius who swept through the starry sky. He's still alive and has returned? Ha ha ha, that's great. I knew he wouldn't die. Lin Wuti is back. We have hope. Disciples and grand disciples, pick up the swords in your hands and kill with me. Block this attack. When Lin Wuti arrives, these ghosts will be dead for sure. That's right, those families and sects that were originally in despair were already prepared to give up resistance and even self-destruct. However, now that they heard that Lin Xian had returned, they all had hope. They frantically resisted. One by one, shields and defensive arrays appeared between heaven and earth. Some people even began to attack with all their might. Some elders roared to the sky, "It doesn't matter if we die, but our descendants must live." That's right. In the sky, dozens of elders soared into the sky. Their bodies grew larger, and the power in their bodies began to expand. "Old ghost, are you afraid of death?" a red-clothed elder asked. On the other side, a white-haired elder looked up to the sky and laughed. "I've lived for 4,000 years. I've lived enough. However, before I die, I have to take these ghosts with me to the Yellow Springs." On the other side, a tall elder held a giant axe in his hand. His loud voice spread in all directions. "Disciples and grand disciples, listen up. We will open a path for you. You must live and wait for Lin Wuti's arrival. Kill." After saying that, the dozens of elders charged forward, courting death. The ghost experts on the other side sneered unmoved. They unleashed their souls, which blotted out the sky and covered the earth as they pressed down. These people of the Hidden Emperor Star were no match for them at all. But this time they were wrong. The dozens of elders rushed over. They had no intention of coming back alive. In an instant they self-destructed. The overwhelming power swept in all directions. The sky was torn apart. "Damn it, retreat." The faces of those from the Ghost clan changed. "These guys are crazy." Chapter 6186. Dozens of elder powerhouses were unafraid of death. They used the power of destruction to pave the way for their descendants. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Ghosts wailed and wolves howled. The people of the Ghost clan were incomparably miserable. Quite a number of people were instantly torn to pieces by the destructive power. Even some of the peerless powerhouses of the Ghost clan were seriously injured at this moment. Their bodies were split open and their souls were shattered. Elders, patriarchs, great-grandfathers, the young people at the back let out crazy roars. They were all crying. Their patriarchs had died for them. "Don't cry. Cultivators can bleed, but they can't cry," a middle-aged man shouted coldly. He held a short sword and a short saber in his hand. His body was stained with blood and his eyes were red. "The patriarchs used their lives to create an opportunity for us. We must survive. Young ones, back off. Old ones, charge. Kill a bloody path for our children and grandchildren." Some other old men also rose into the air. As for the young people, they were escorted back. The surrounding array formation continued to spread. The people of the Ghost clan on the opposite side had also gone crazy. Previously, when they arrived, they relied on the powerful Ghost army to sweep in all directions. Because their numbers were too strong and they could grow stronger at any time. They could devour the souls of others. Therefore, these people of the Hidden Emperor Star were no match for them at all. Moreover, there were great Emperor-level powerhouses on their side. Under their joint efforts, they defeated the great Emperor clans. Now, the great Emperor clans were all fleeing for their lives. Seeing this situation, how could the other clans and sects dare to resist? Therefore, they had never suffered a loss along the way. But now, they had suffered a great loss. That destructive power just now had caused them to suffer heavy losses. Hundreds of great sages had died. Dozens of quasi-emperors had died. There were also some peerless powerhouses who were seriously injured. "Crazy! Kill them for me. Devour their souls and make them suffer a fate worse than death." These people of the Ghost clan also charged over. At the same time, the second group of powerhouses rushed over and continued to destroy themselves. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Loud laughter echoed between heaven and earth. This time, even more Ghost Clan members died. More than half of them had perished. The others gasped. Were these guys crazy? Not only these ancient families, but also the Holy Lands and sections. After learning that Linwoody had returned, they launched a crazy counterattack. Again and again he counterattacked regardless of the cost. The members of the Ghost Clan couldn't believe it. Linwoody. Just his name alone was enough to drive these people crazy. What kind of magic did this name have? What Linwoody? No one in this world is invincible. A name can't save you. Heavenly Fire, Holy Land. An Emperor Realm expert from the ghost race sneered. Behind him were 29 crown kings and other quasi-emperors. This was the power that they had gathered after devouring souls. The surroundings of this holy land were filled with heavenly fire. It was extremely terrifying. There was a certain degree of restraint towards them. But now he could no longer restrain them. The souls of these people covered the sky and the earth, extinguishing the heavenly fire. The people from the Skyfire Holy Land despaired. However, at this moment, a sun fell from the sky and killed one of the great emperors. The 29 crown kings were also reduced to ashes by the flames of the sun. This scene caused everyone to be stunned. The members of the ghost race were horrified. As for the people from the Skyfire Holy Land, they looked up at the sky. In the next moment, they saw a golden godlike figure descend. I'm back. I won't let a single member of the ghost race off. A cold voice sounded. In the next moment, a sword chi slashed over. Immediately, a large number of ghost race experts died, reduced to ashes by this sword. After the sword strike, a huge crack appeared in the sky. The Ghost Clan had already disappeared. The people from the Skyfire Holy Land were stunned. What a powerful sword chi! Who was this voice? It was Linwoody. He had returned. He had really returned. This was great. Greetings, Lin Gongzi. Greetings, great Emperor Lin. Everyone, don't worry. I'm back. Everything is safe. Lin Xian's voice sounded. At the same time, an extremely terrifying power of heaven and earth enveloped the Skyfire Holy Land. This caused the vitality of the Skyfire Holy Land to increase by 100 times. Recover well. Next, I'll lead you to kill the enemy. Yes, the people from the Skyfire Holy Land were excited. They quickly used the power of heaven and earth to recover their bodies. Following that, Lin Xian visited one holy ground after another, as well as ancient aristocratic families. Wherever he passed, he killed everything with a single sword strike. At this moment, everyone knew that Linwoody had really returned. Previously, they had only heard rumors and did not believe it. Now that they saw Lin Xian, they were wild with joy. After seeing Lin Xian's strength, they knew that the hidden Emperor Star could be saved. Along the way, he killed the ghost race until they were in a miserable state. The members of the ghost race also broke down. At the beginning, they were arrogant and wanted to fight with Lin Xian. Lin Xian turned them into ashes with a few sword strikes. In the end, these ghost race people were also terrified. Let's go back quickly and tell young Master Gui that Linwoody has returned. Let young Master Gui kill him. No matter how strong he was no match for young Master Gui. The ghost clansmen began to retreat. They retreated. The ghost race retreated. That's great. We're safe. Those families, sects, and martialists all cheered. Lin Xian had returned and defeated the entire ghost race army by himself. Lin Xian was now returning to the Great Canyon. He could feel the presence of the Divine Union, Yi family, and others. At this moment, many ghost race powerhouses had gathered around the Great Canyon. Not only that, these ghost race people all had physical bodies. Their strength was even more terrifying. Yi family, hand over your heavenly emperor scripture and we'll spare your lives. Gu family, Hand over the ancient void mirror, and we'll give you a chance to live. Divine Union, kneel down and submit to us. Become slaves of Permitha. Clamoring voices rang out one after another. The people who came this time were extremely terrifying. A true great emperor and 5 other great emperor powerhouses. 6 unparalleled powerhouses stood there, causing the entire canyon to crumble. The crimson dragon roared. Several supreme weapons rose into the air beside them to defend themselves. However, the great emperors on the other side sneered. They were just extreme weapons. If they weren't true great emperors, they wouldn't be able to unleash their full power. One of the ladies sneered, I might become a true great emperor after devouring your souls. Let's do it. A young man took the lead. He held a white-boned sword in his hand and pointed it forward. Suddenly, the ghost race army around them started to move. The crimson dragon and the others roared. A great battle was about to begin. At this moment, a cold snort was heard from afar. The ghost race deserved to die. Then a palm struck out. This palm came from tens of thousands of miles away. Wherever it passed, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. It turned into a world that came crashing down from the sky. Everyone looked up at the sky. What was this? The Divine Union and the great emperor families were stunned. The faces of the ghost tribe's experts also changed. The young man with the white-boned sword roared, Attack! The 6 great emperors roared at the sky. 6 rays of light shot out from their bodies and pierced through the sky, trying to shatter the heavenly palm. Boom! 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 The heavenly palm fell mercilessly, shattering the attacks of the 6 unparalleled powerhouses. Then they were enveloped by the palm. Chapter 60, 187. Ah! A miserable shriek came from the hand of heaven. The ghost woman from before screamed in terror. What kind of power is this? I can't resist it. The other man roared. This is the power of a great emperor. Which great emperor is he? Is he a powerhouse from the divine realm? The young man with the white-boned sword roared. He was a real great emperor. At this moment he was also terrified. This was not the power of immortal chi, nor the power of divine fire, but a power that he had never seen before. What is this? Who are you? Who are you? He looked up at the sky and asked himself. In the sky, a cold voice came. I will fulfill your dying request. I am Lin Wudi. As soon as the voice fell, the giant hand exploded again. Immediately, the 6 peerless powerhouses inside screamed miserably. They turned into a bloody mist. Several great emperors had died. The real great emperor roared to the sky, I am a great emperor. I have experienced a real lightning tribulation. I will not die. He wanted to resist, but how could he resist? As soon as the giant hand exploded, the power of immortals emerged, and this great emperor died on the spot. The giant hand rose again and floated in the sky. On the palm, countless drops of great emperor blood danced, shattering heaven and earth. At this moment, everyone was stunned. 6 great emperors were slapped to death with a single palm strike. What a shocking scene this was. The people from the Ghost Clan were so scared that they all knelt on the ground with a plop, their bodies trembling. Even the people on the hidden emperor planets sighed, were silent. They had never seen this kind of power. This was Lin Xian's power. The Crimson Dragon was also shocked. Oh my God, he has definitely surpassed an ordinary great emperor. Did he directly become a super great emperor? Was that the power of immortals? How could he be so powerful? The toad was also drooling. I am so envious. In the sky, a figure descended from the sky and arrived near the canyon. Everyone looked over. Lin Xian, you are back. The toad jumped over, and the Crimson Dragon and the others also flew over. Everyone rushed over. It was Lin Xian, it was really him. Lin Xian said, You guys have suffered. Hearing this, Everyone's eyes turned red. Someone said, "My master's soul was devoured. My apprentice has been taken away. Damn it. Lin Gongzi, this isn't your fault. This is someone from the ghost race. He's too arrogant. That's right, the people of the Permethar realm are too hateful. I heard that it's not only the hidden Emperor star. All the stars in the universe were attacked by them. Damn it, I'm not strong enough. Otherwise, I would have killed my way up to the 9 heavens and killed all of them." Whenever Hagen was mentioned, she would clench her teeth. Previously, they had thought that it was only a battle of Tao corroboration. However, who would have thought that the other party's ambition was too great? He wanted the 10,000 worlds to submit to him. In fact, even great emperors had to kneel and become slaves. Even immortals had to lower their heads. Who could tolerate such ambition? Don't worry, one day we will kill our way to the other side and destroy it completely. Now, let's resolve the crisis of the hidden Emperor star. After saying that, Lin Xian turned around. He stared at the front. In front of him, there were hundreds of thousands of ghost race experts. These people were all soul bodies. At this moment, they were facing a great enemy. Lin Wudi, don't be arrogant. Behind us is young Master Goe. That's right, young Master Goe is the disciple of a ghost immortal, an earth immortal. Even if you become a great emperor, can you be a match for an earth immortal? Humph. Lin Xian snorted coldly and opened his Rinnegan. Immediately, the 6 Paths world bloomed and enveloped the hundreds of thousands of ghost race army. The ghost race army couldn't bear it at all. With a plop, they knelt on the ground. Lin Xian shot down the light of reincarnation. Immediately, the souls of the ghost race army were penetrated. They let out a sound that was worse than death. This was the pain of the soul. You like to devour other people's souls, right? Then you can feel the feeling of your soul being devoured. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palm. Illusion, eternal soul devouring. He used his Rinnegan to envelop the hundreds of thousands of soldiers and created an illusion world. Here, these people would live for 1,000,000 years. And within these 1,000,000 years, every day, their souls would be tortured, devoured, and then reborn. Then, they would continue to be tortured. The cycle would repeat until 1,000,000 years had passed. And in reality, perhaps it would only last for an incense stick's worth of time. After enveloping these people, Lin Xian no longer paid attention to them. The people of the hidden Emperor star looked at each other in dismay. They only heard all kinds of miserable cries coming from the front. Then, one by one, the ghost race powerhouses fell. After an incense stick's worth of time, hundreds of thousands of soldiers all died in the most despair. Thank you, Lin Gongzi, for avenging my master. Disciple, you can rest in peace. Lin Gongzi has avenged you. Voices sounded one after another. At this moment, everyone clenched their fists. Lin Xian said, "This is not enough. I want to destroy all the people of the ghost race. I want to cut off young Master Goe's head and use his head to pay tribute to the dead. Yes, we are willing to follow Lin Gongzi and kill the ghost race." These people shouted loudly. Lin Xian said, "The first step is to return to our respective clans and sections. We are not fugitives. At the same time, I will assist the Gu family to build space tunnels between the various clans and sections. Once one party is in danger, the other parties can instantly provide support." Everyone was shocked when they heard this. What kind of method was this? They had thought of this idea before, but the Gu family couldn't do it at all, unless the Void Emperor was resurrected. But now, with the help of Lin Xian, they might really be able to do it. Next, these clans and sects began to return to their respective territories, one after another. From today onwards, they would not be on the run. Lin Xian took action one after another to restore these clans and sections. He even condensed the endless power of heaven and earth to help these people quickly recover from their injuries. On the other side, the captured souls were all gathered together. Lin Xian waved his hand, and countless bodies appeared in the sky. Return to your bodies, I will protect you." Hearing those words, millions of souls soared into the sky and rushed toward their own bodies. The next moment, one by one, the figures opened their eyes. "We are back. Our bodies are finally back. Great. Thank you, Lin Gongzi." Everyone was grateful once again. Next, everyone began to repair the mountain gate and set up the array formation, preparing to fight to the death with the ghost race. On the other side, Bai Susu and the others from the Divine Union had also gathered together. They looked at Lin Xian. The Crimson Dragon and the others asked, "What happened? Where have you been for the past 100 years?" Lin Xian said, "I went to a magical place." He briefly recounted his experiences in the past 100 years. Everyone was stunned when they heard this. In the land of destiny, everyone had their own fate. Fate was made by heaven and could not be changed. Wouldn't that be very hopeless? The toad said, "What's there to be hopeless about? Haven't you heard that there are many emperors in the land of destiny? Let me become an emperor and then let me feel hopeless, okay?" Even now, he was still only a half-martial monarch. This caused the toad to feel extremely annoyed. "I don't think it's good. If I can't change my own fate, then cultivation is meaningless. However, if it's the fate of a peerless genius, then it's the best. I can become an emperor without any worries." Everyone was discussing spiritedly with different opinions. Lin Xian only smiled at this. Those who had not experienced fate would not understand at all. These people only envied their own emperors. However, they did not know that in the land of destiny, even emperors and super-emperors envied people from all over the universe. This was because there were endless possibilities in the universe. Chapter 6188. Hidden Emperor Star, Extreme North. This was a world of ice and snow. The 10,000-year-old glaciers had never melted. Even powerful saints would freeze and tremble when they walked here. In the depths of the extreme north, the coldness here was even more terrifying. Strands of frost-chi laws danced in the air. This seemed to be a forbidden land for life. Ordinary people couldn't come here at all. However, at this moment, there were two figures here. These two figures were dressed in black robes. Their bodies were shrouded in black fog. Only their eyes were cold and shining. The two looked at the glacier that was tens of thousands of meters high in front of them. One of the figures' black robes fluttered in the wind. He said it should be here. The other, black-robed figure was even taller. He was more than 3 meters tall. He stood there as if he could suppress the heavens and earth. He said, "That's right. It's here. The thing we want is here." After speaking, he walked forward. However, an ice sword suddenly flew out from the ice mountain and directly cut off his path. The tall, black-robed figure retreated. His face was gloomy. "There is indeed a powerful array, but this time we are prepared." After speaking, he waved his hand. A black gourd appeared in his hand. A ghost face appeared on it. The gourd opened, and tens of thousands of vengeful spirits rushed out. The black-robed figure beside him also took out a pitch-black gourd. The two were very similar. There were tens of thousands of vengeful spirits inside. These vengeful spirits turned into a black storm and fought against the ice sword. An earth-shaking sound came. The sound of ghosts wailing and wolves howling swept through the world. As for the glacier sword, it emitted an azure ray of light that slashed straight into the firmament. Boom! Boom! Tens of thousands of cracks appeared where the two collided. A powerful storm swept through the surroundings. The glaciers in the extreme north shook and cracks appeared in many places. As for this aura, it spread throughout the entire Hidden Emperor Star from the extreme north. The clans and sects on the Hidden Emperor Star had just settled down. At this moment, they felt this power. Their expressions changed again. Everyone looked towards the north. What happened there? People like the Yi clan, Void clan, and Phoenix clan said that is the extreme north where the 10,000-year-old glaciers are. Normally, no one would go there. There weren't even many demonic beasts there. But now there was actually an enormous power erupting in the extreme north. That was a battle between great emperors. Who was it? The people in the Divine Union also sensed it. The crimson dragon rose into the air nervously. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It was the aura of a ghost. He had fought with the ghost clan before, so he naturally knew that it was just another aura. The sword chi was icy cold. He didn't know. He had never seen it before. Let's go and take a look. Lin Xian left behind a few streaks of sword chi that covered the entire Divine Union and formed a Qinquan sword array. Even a great emperor wouldn't be able to open it in a short period of time. Now that he had nothing to worry about, he left. We'll go with you. The crimson dragon and the toad soared into the air and flew over. As for Baisusu and the others, they remained in the Divine Union. Lin Xian and the others were extremely fast. They arrived in the blink of an eye. After tearing open the void, they turned into lightning dragons and charged towards the extreme north. At this moment, a shocking battle was happening in the extreme north. At the same time, a few black-robed people rushed over. They were like dark clouds. Ghost Emperor, the situation isn't good. These black-robed people were from the Ghost Clan. Many of them were injured and covered in blood. They looked extremely miserable. After they arrived in the extreme north, they started shouting loudly. The two black-robed people in front were fighting with the glacier sword. When they heard this voice, they frowned. The 3-meter-tall man shouted coldly, "What's the matter?" As he spoke, he continued to use the black gourd to attack. The Ghost Clan people behind him knelt on the ground and said, "Ghost Emperor, please take revenge for us." Then he told the Ghost Emperor what had happened. The Ghost Emperor snorted coldly. "Trash! The people on the buried Emperor Star are so weak. So many of you actually failed. Do you want to go to the Yellow Springs? I don't mind swallowing you." The Ghost Clan people kowtowed in fear. Don't blame us. Originally, the people on the buried Emperor Star were in despair. It wouldn't be long before they were suppressed by us. But then a young man called Lin Wudi came. His appearance ruined all the plans. Lin Wudi? After the Ghost Emperor heard this, his eyes lit up. "Are you sure he's called Lin Wudi?" "Yes, I'm sure. Those people all said so." That was impossible. The other black-robed man, the Wind Ghost Emperor, frowned and said, "Lin Wudi was hit by the heavenly punishment 100 years ago. He should have died. How could he still be alive?" The Ghost Clan powerhouse said, "We don't know, but he's very strong. He easily killed our leader." Could it really be him? The two great emperors looked at each other, their hearts heavy. Go back first. Don't attack again during this time. Continue to go to the universe and collect souls from other worlds. Condense them into a black gourd and give it to us. We'll break this 10,000-year-old glacier first. When the time comes, we'll deal with Lin Wudi." That's right. The Wind Ghost Emperor also sneered. "I want to see how strong this legendary, invincible young man is. Does he really have the ability to bear the title of invincible?" Obviously, the Wind Ghost Emperor was not convinced. At this moment, a cold voice came from the sky. "There's no need to wait. Now is the time." Who was it? The Ghost Clan members were shocked and looked up at the sky. The sky exploded and 3 figures appeared. One of them was a young man wearing a black robe. His black hair danced in the wind, and his face was incomparably handsome. Beside him was a divine dragon with towering horns on its head. On the other side was a toad. Its appearance was extremely ugly and terrifying. The 3 of them stood in the void like gods, shattering the sky. "You are—" The Ghost Emperor frowned. The experts of the Ghost Clan, who were kneeling below, were all terrified. They pointed at the sky and shouted, "Ghost Emperor, he's Lin Wudi. Please avenge us." As they spoke, they quickly retreated. They had all seen Lin Wudi attack before, and he was extremely powerful. With a light sword, tens of millions of ghosts were turned into ashes. "You're Lin Wudi." The The Ghost Emperor and the Wind Ghost Emperor were also stunned. So young. It was different from what they had imagined. While the two of them were sizing up Lin Xian was also looking at the two of them. He found that the two people below were real great emperors, and they had real immortal qi. However, Lin Xian didn't take them seriously. He said in a deep voice, "You too, surrender. You're no match for me. Kneel down obediently and tell me everything. I'll give you a quick death." When the Ghost Clan members heard this, they gasped. Was this guy looking down on their Ghost Emperor? Someone revealed a sinister smile. The two in front of him were the Ghost Emperor and the Ghost Emperor. Apart from young Master Ghost, they were the strongest people on this planet. This young man had offended two at the same time. He would definitely suffer a fate worse than death. Chapter 60, 189. What an arrogant young man. I'm curious, how did you survive until now? The Ghost Emperor snorted. The Wind Ghost Emperor was furious. He said, "Let me do it." The Ghost Emperor nodded, took the black gourd from his hand, and continued to resist the ice sword. He said, "Then finish him quickly. It's best if you can finish him within 10 moves. We still have important things to do." The Wind Ghost Emperor smiled. 10 moves? There's no need for that. I'll suppress him in 5 moves. After speaking, he floated over and struck out with his palm. A black storm condensed around him. These storms could instantly tear apart the soul of a powerhouse. This palm directly hit Lin Xian's soul. In his opinion, under this move, the other party's soul would be injured. Next, he would be at his mercy. Humph! Kill him in 10 moves and suppress him in 5 moves? Lin Xian looked at the two of them and laughed coldly. They were really confident. They were quite confident, but he didn't know if they could still be so confident later. Looking at the black palm flying over, he opened his Rinnegan and looked over. His gaze fell directly on the other party's palm. Boom! An earth-shattering sound came, and the black palm was penetrated. With a muffled groan, the Wind Ghost King quickly retreated, avoiding this gaze. His face turned ugly. What a terrifying eye! That was a collision of soul power just now. His palm could tear apart the soul of a powerhouse. However, the other party's eye was even more terrifying. It even pierced through his palm. What kind of supernatural power is this? The Wind Ghost Emperor gritted his teeth and asked. Lin Xian laughed. You're really useless. What kind of supernatural power did you use on me? You don't even know. You're courting death. No one dares to look down on me. You will pay the price. The Wind Ghost King's face was gloomy. That move just now was just a casual one. Next, he was going to get serious. Immortal qi emerged from his body, and his power erupted. With a roar, the 9 heavens and 10 lands were shattered. The people of the Ghost Clan had already escaped far away. They came to the edge of the extreme north to watch the battle. Do you think our Ghost Emperor can win this battle? A young man asked. Nonsense. Another Ghost King said coldly, the Ghost Emperor's strength is enough to split heaven and earth. How can he fail? The Wind Ghost Emperor's aura was getting more and more terrifying. The Toad also frowned. How terrifying! How dare you scare me? Do you think I'm scared? I'll go bully your disciples and granddisciples. Then he said, Kid, you deal with these 2 guys. I'll deal with the Ghost Clan. After saying that, the Toad's figure flashed and rushed to the edge of the far north land. There were many Ghost Clan experts there. After the Toad came, it said, Come, come. Grandpa will teach you how to behave. He was courting death. The 7 Ghost Kings walked out. There were still a few experts in the distance who were extremely terrifying. These people blotted out the sky and covered the earth as they began to attack the Toad. The Toad held 2 extreme grade weapons in its hands. As soon as it made its move, it beat everything in its path. The 7 Ghost Kings were beaten to tears. Too ruthless. Ghost Emperor, save us. Ghost Emperor, make a move and destroy this toad." They screamed. The toad didn't kill them. It tortured them to its heart's content. In the distance, the Ghost Emperor and Ghost Emperor's expressions changed when they heard this. The Maple Ghost Emperor in particular roared, "Go to hell! Kill Lin Woody first, then skin that toad." This time he threw out a punch. Immortal Chi revolved around his fist. Ghost Fist Storm. The endless black storm roared, and tens of thousands of ghost heads appeared with the power to destroy the heavens and the earth. At this moment, boundless killing intent danced in the air. Everyone in the hidden Emperor's star felt terrified. All the martial artists' souls trembled, and their scalps went numb. This terrifying attack was aimed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's face was calm, facing a peerless immortal technique. He didn't seem to feel wronged at all. He waited until this punch arrived before he made his move. Boom! His body shook, and the nine-yang divine body bloomed with radiance. An earth-shattering flame appeared. At this moment, Lin Xian seemed to have turned into the sun god. The flames on his body erupted, illuminating the nine heavens. The people of the Ghost Clan were illuminated by this sun. Immediately they screamed in pain. What a terrifying flame! Even the Wind Ghost Emperor was suppressed. His expression changed. In the next moment he saw a golden fist rushing over. With a punch, the surrounding void shattered. The two fists collided and turned into countless black holes. The Wind Ghost King felt as if he had been struck by lightning. He kept retreating, and one of his arms turned into ashes. He covered his wound, and his expression became incomparably ugly. What a terrifying flame! It actually has a suppressive effect on me. The Ghost Emperor also frowned. This young man is not simple. He asked, "Are you okay? Do you want me to make a move?" "No need." The Wind Ghost Emperor shook his head and said, "I can still handle it." 10,000 ghosts descend. He formed a seal with his palms, and tens of thousands of ghosts rushed out of his body and surrounded him, forming the 10,000 ghost armor. At the same time, his broken arm regrew. This time, a black spear appeared in his hand. "Die!" With an angry roar, he attacked again. The second move, Lin Xian said indifferently. At the same time, he pointed out a finger. His finger seemed to have turned into the shadow of a dragon, and the power of an immortal erupted. He pointed to the front. This finger turned into a peerless divine sword, piercing through the clouds and destroying the earth. The Wind Ghost Emperor was originally full of confidence. He even took out his ultimate weapon. This time, he could definitely contend with the other party. However, when he saw that finger, he trembled. His face was full of horror. "No, save me!" He begged the Ghost Emperor for help. The Ghost Emperor's expression also changed. "What kind of finger is this? It should be the other party's strongest technique." He roared and wanted to attack, but it was already too late. This finger passed through the universe and directly pointed at the Wind Ghost Emperor's body. The power of an immortal erupted, and the Wind Ghost Emperor's body was instantly torn into pieces. In the next moment, his heart and soul were destroyed. A crack appeared in heaven and earth, and the Wind Ghost Emperor's figure completely disappeared. The Ghost Emperor's figure stopped in midair, and his face became stiff. The people of the ghost race in the distance also turned their heads to look. They were dumbfounded. Is he dead? One of their ghost emperors had fallen. Suppress me in 5 moves? How ridiculous. You can't even block one of my fingers. Where did you get the courage to say such words? Lin Xian shook his head and then looked at the Ghost Emperor. After dealing with him, it's your turn. The Ghost Emperor's expression became extremely ugly. The other party killed the Wind Ghost Emperor in 2 moves. This kind of strength was beyond his expectations. You're not an ordinary emperor. What realm have you reached? The Ghost Emperor gritted his teeth and asked. He realized that he couldn't see the other party's realm at all. Moreover, that finger just now wasn't immortal chi or divine fire. What kind of power was it? You're too weak. You don't have the right to know my realm. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Take me to young Master Ghost. I can give you a quick death. Humph, kid, you're too arrogant. I'm stronger than the Wind Ghost Emperor. Moreover, I'll use an ancient forbidden technique next. With that, he waved his hand, and the 2 black gourds in his hand were crushed by him. Tens of thousands of ghosts rushed into his body. In the next moment, his 3-meter body grew bigger again. Countless fangs grew out of his body like divine weapons. It was a ghastly sight. After reading it, the dark red dragon gasped. Not good, boy. His aura was increasing exponentially. Chapter 6190. The Crimson Dragon said, Stop him. Lin Xian smiled. There's no hurry. Let him finish. I want to see what forbidden technique he has. Lin Xian smiled casually, not taking the other party seriously at all. The Ghost Emperor said, Boy, you will regret it. You will pay the price for your arrogance. These are the souls of the powerhouses that our ghost army has collected in all the realms over the past 100 years. At this moment, they have all been swallowed by me. If I can't kill you, I won't be called the Ghost Emperor. I'll kill you and use your soul to break the 10,000-year frost sword. The Ghost Emperor's angry voice sounded. He waved his hand, and a black bell appeared in his palm. As soon as the bell appeared, a strange sound rang out. This sound could instantly destroy souls. The Crimson Dragon's face changed, and his body almost fell from the sky. Not good. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a sword energy cut through heaven and earth. He said to the Crimson Dragon, Step back, I'll kill him. The Divine Dragon nodded. Then be careful. I'm also going to bully his disciples. After saying that, the Crimson Dragon also charged into the distance and slapped a Ghost King to death. The remaining 6 Ghost Kings cried, Are you shameless? You are a great emperor, but you attacked our Ghost Kings. The Crimson Dragon sneered. When your ghost army attacked the hidden Emperor planet, did you think that today would happen? After saying that, he began to torture these Ghost Kings. Go to hell, Ghost Bell. The Ghost Emperor activated the bell in his hand and charged at Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt a soul impact. However, his eyes turned, and immediately the 6 paths of reincarnation condensed around him to block the Ghost Bell. Boom! Boom! The collision of souls was extremely dangerous. Every crack caused people to tremble in fear. Lin Xian smiled. This is your trump card. You used an ancient forbidden technique, but it's only SOSO. What other tricks do you have? Use them all. Otherwise, I'll kill you with one strike. You're courting death. Seeing that the Ghost Bell was useless, the Ghost Emperor's face also changed. However, in the next moment, he bit his finger and drew a blood line between his eyebrows. Suddenly, his forehead split open. An eye appeared between his eyebrows. It was an incomparably pitch-black eye. The Ghost Emperor said coldly, Boy, do you think you're the only one who has an eye technique? The eye I summoned is not something you can imagine. A ghost eye. The black eye was ferocious God's eye. In the next moment, a black line shot out from the black eye, piercing through the air and heading straight for Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt as if his soul had been locked in place. He was unable to dodge at all. What a strange power, but it's not as good as Rinnegan. He summoned Tsuma Reincarnation Sword. A beam of sword chi appeared in his eyes, slicing through heaven and earth. With a boom, the sword chi brought with it a destructive power that split the world in half. The black ray of light was shattered. Not only that, the eye on the Ghost Emperor's forehead was also pierced and instantly closed. The Ghost Emperor screamed and rolled in the air with his head in his hands. He was seriously injured. The Ghost Emperor was injured. He couldn't believe it. What was that sword shadow? Could it be the legendary Eye of Reincarnation? The Ghost Emperor looked at the other party's eyes, and his body trembled. Is this your power? Too weak. Lin Xian shook his head, obviously not interested. The Ghost Emperor was terrified. The other party was very strong, and he was no match for him. It seemed that he could only ask young Master Goe to help. Thinking of this, he turned around and fled. His speed was extremely fast. With his strength, he could leave this world in an instant. In the next moment, he escaped from the hidden Emperor Star. He wanted to hide in the myriad worlds first. In the vast universe, the other party couldn't find him. Next time, he would come with young Master Goe and completely suppress the other party. The Ghost Emperor came to the starry sky and wanted to leave. However, in the next moment, he found that the buried Emperor Star under his feet suddenly burst out with golden light. Like a divine sun sword, it rushed into the universe. Then, the sword enveloped him. No, the Ghost Emperor went crazy. He quickly dodged and fled into the depths of the universe. However, just as he moved, the sun god sword fell. The terrifying flames instantly split his body apart, and the divine fire of the sun on top of it extinguished his soul. In the extreme north of the hidden Emperor Star, Lin Xian withdrew the sun god sword. With his hands behind his back, he said loudly, "The Ghost Emperor is dead." Impossible. The people of the ghost race behind him still didn't believe it. However, not long after, a rain of blood fell from the sky. This was the phenomenon of a great emperor's death. Impossible, right? The Wind Ghost Emperor was dead, and the Ghost Emperor was also dead. In the blink of an eye, 2 great emperors were dead. This young man was terrifying to such an extent. Spare me. In the next moment, the remaining Ghost Kings and Ghost Race experts all knelt on the ground, no longer daring to resist. What a joke! How could they be a match for the Emperor? Lin Xian didn't care about these people at all. He left them to the Crimson Dragon and Toad. The 2 of them naturally wouldn't be lenient. They directly attacked and turned all of these Ghost Race experts into ashes. Not only that, they also used a formation to record it and then spread it throughout the hidden Emperor Star. He wanted to let the families and sects of the hidden Emperor Star see that the Ghost Race was not invincible. They could easily kill them and beat them up. Sure enough, when the people on the hidden Emperor Star saw this scene, they all exclaimed, "Heavens, countless Ghost Race experts were turned into ashes. 2 great emperors of the Ghost Race experts had fallen? Was all of this done by Lin Gongzi? Lin Gongzi was too powerful. Lin Gongzi was the god of our hidden Emperor Star." They cheered excitedly. In the extreme north, the Crimson Dragon and Toad flew back and said, "Let's go." Lin Xian shook his head. No. He pointed to the front and said, "This sword is very interesting." Only then did the dark red divine dragon and the Toad look forward. In front of them there was an ice sword. Even under the sun god fire, it didn't melt. This made them exclaim, "I didn't expect that there was such a mysterious place in the hidden Emperor Star." Their previous goal had always been the Forbidden Land of Life and the ancient tombs of the great emperors. They didn't expect this place to be even more mysterious than the Forbidden Land of Life. Indeed, the Forbidden Land of Life was the place where the Supremes lived. However, with the current strength of Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon, entering the Forbidden Land of Life was as easy as entering an uninhabited land. However, when the Crimson Dragon flew to the glacier in front of him, he was repelled by a cold force. Frost had formed on his body. The Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "It's too scary. If I don't retreat, I will be frozen into a popsicle." What kind of power was this? Even the great emperors could be frozen. It was amazing. Lin Xian was also surprised. His eyes erupted with a trace of cold light. In the next moment, he attacked. The sun god sword appeared in his hand again, and he slashed out. The ice frost divine sword in front of him seemed to have sensed it. It immediately flew up and spun in the air, filling the sky with frost. The 2 sword shadows collided between heaven and earth, and a scene of destruction swept across thousands of miles. Lin Xian was surprised. What a terrifying ice frost divine sword! It was even more terrifying than the sword emperor of the Imperial Sword Villa he had met before. Thinking of this, he became interested and slashed out with his sword again, with the power to move mountains and fill seas. The ice frost divine sword in front of him seemed to be suppressed. Suddenly, a light flashed in front of him, and an incredible change occurred. Chapter 6191. In the southernmost part of the hidden Emperor Star, there was a flaming mountain. An endless sea of fire filled the air and swept through the 9 heavens. The scorching aura blocked all people. However, at this moment, there was a figure in the flaming mountain that filled the sky. It was a black-robed man. This was a handsome young man, dressed in black. He was standing in the sea of fire. However, those flames couldn't hurt him at all. If the Crimson Dragon and the others were standing here, they would definitely exclaim in surprise, because the aura of this black-robed man was extremely similar to that of the Ghost Clan. This man was young Master Gui. Logically speaking, the Ghost Clan was afraid of flames. Flames were their nemesis. However, young Master Gui didn't care about these flames at all. At this moment, young Master Gui was staring ahead. There was an incomparably tall flaming mountain, condensing an extremely terrifying flaming sword. Previously, he had broken this flaming sword. However, what happened next surprised him. The flaming sword that had been broken earlier reappeared. Young Master Gui frowned. Now he didn't act rashly. He wanted to wait for the situation in the extreme north. He hoped that the Ghost Emperor and the others could break the glacier sword there. In the extreme north, in front of Lin Xian and the others, there was a sword of ice that was blooming with light. Lin Xian's previous attack had caused the sword of ice to tremble. Following that, a shocking scene occurred with the sword of ice. A palm appeared in the sword of ice and grabbed Lin Xian's sword chi. This scene was surprising. Lin Xian was stunned. The Crimson Dragon also exclaimed, "Is there anyone else?" No, this was a demonic beast. Indeed, this palm, or to be exact, a claw, was white and fluffy. The next moment, a bear jumped out from the sword of ice, a white bear. "You have a divine body? But why did you come to the extreme north if you have a 9-yang divine body? Go to the extreme south." Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. "May I ask who you are?" "Guardian spirit of the eternal glacier. Little guy, don't attack. You can't enter. Even if you enter, the things inside are useless to you," White Bear said in a low voice. Lin Xian was stunned. The next moment he asked, "If I can't go in, what will happen if I have the 9-yin divine body?" If the divine 9-yin body went in, would he be able to obtain any good fortune? It all depended on his luck. "All right. Thanks for the information." Lin Xian smiled. "I'm going to look for the 9-yin divine body right now." After that, Lin Xian said to the Crimson Dragon, "Ruzalong, stay here for now. Are you going to look for Xueqi?" Lin Xian nodded. With that, he left. At this moment, Xueqi was in the high heavens. Lin Xian sent out a message. Xueqi was cultivating in the high heaven land. After receiving the news, she was stunned. Was her husband back? She was extremely excited. The people of the God realm inside were also surprised. "Oh, that kid is back. That's great. I knew he would be fine." Black Mountain, Northern Yao, and the others cheered. The North Demon said, "It's a pity that Lord Lin Zhan and Lord Alcohol are not here. I have to inform them of this good news." "Let me do it." The Empress walked over and said, "I'll pass the news to them." Xueqi also walked out and said, "I have to go to the Hidden Emperor planet. My husband said he has something to do. Let's use the teleportation array. We can still hold on here." Xueqi nodded. She was in Shangqing City. On one hand, she was cultivating. On the other hand, she was defending against attacks from the outside world. At this moment, the powerhouses of the Nirvana realm were crazily attacking outside the High Heaven City. Therefore, there would be a big battle every 1 or 2 days. Xueqi was also seriously injured before. However, the High Heaven City was very mysterious, and the earth veins inside were very terrifying. Here, they could recover quickly. I'll go back to the Hidden Emperor planet first. Then, I'll bring my husband to the High Heaven City to kill the enemies. Xueqi stepped into the ancient teleportation array and disappeared. When she reappeared, she had already arrived at the deity land and flew back to the Hidden Emperor planet. Xueqi's speed was very fast. Buzz! Finally, Xueqi arrived at the Hidden Emperor planet. Her appearance made many people on the Hidden Emperor planet look up at the sky. Another great emperor had arrived. These people's bodies trembled. Even the members of the Ghost Clan looked as if they were facing a great enemy. The aura of a great emperor swept out in all directions. Xueqi didn't deliberately hide her aura, so her aura was extremely terrifying. In the southernmost land, young master, Ghost, narrowed his eyes. A great emperor? What a cold aura. Who is it? He circulated his soul and looked over. The void next to Xueqi cracked, and Lin Xian walked over and said, hide your aura and follow me. Xueqi nodded and restrained her aura. In the next moment, the two of them disappeared. As soon as they left, young Master Ghost's gaze fell on them. The two of them had left and disappeared. Young Master Ghost was surprised. Is it someone from the God realm? Forget it. It's just an ordinary great emperor. Even if it's someone from the God realm, so what? He couldn't change the situation. If he wanted to change the situation now, he would need an Earth Immortal to come. However, Earth Immortals wouldn't come here easily. That was a super great emperor. He didn't take a super great emperor seriously. At least 3 super great emperors had to come together. Therefore, young Master Ghost was very confident. This time, not only did he want to destroy the Hidden Emperor Star, but he also wanted to open the Eternal Glacier and the land of Extreme Yang. There was something incredible in there. In the northernmost land, when Lin Xian and Xueqi arrived, the Crimson Dragon was lying on the ground and howling. Lin Xian was taken aback. What's going on? The Crimson Dragon said, This is bullying. This white bear is very powerful. After you left, I had nothing to do and wanted to fight with him, but he slapped me to the ground. Lin Xian was speechless. You're too weak. I'm weak? What a joke. I'll sweep through the 9 heavens, okay? This white bear was definitely not an ordinary great emperor. He was too strange. The white bear sat on the ground and said, while eating ice cubes, Little Divine Dragon, I'm a guardian. How can you be my match? After that, he ignored the Crimson Dragon and looked at Xueqi. He was surprised. 9 Yin Divine Body. This is really surprising. Yes, I have the 9 Yin Divine Body. Xueqi had already heard Lin Xian's explanation. She looked at the eternal glacier in front of her and said, Senior, can I go inside? I can feel the power of a divine body inside. It's the 9 Yin Divine Body. Yes, can you feel it? It's true. Only ice elemental martial artists can enter this cave, and they must be great emperors or above. You meet the requirements. Go in. The white bear didn't stop her and opened a path for her. Xueqi said, Husband, I'll go in first. Be careful. Xueqi walked into the eternal glacier, and the white bear returned to the ice divine sword. He said, Little guy, don't wait here. You have the 9 Yang divine body. Go to the southernmost land and have a look. Maybe you can find something there. Senior, what's inside? Lin Xian asked. The white bear smiled. There's something good. Seeing Lin Xian's confusion, the white bear said, It's something left behind by a god. Upon hearing this, Lin Xian was taken aback. The Crimson Dragon also sucked in a breath of cold air. This white bear is a follower of a god. No wonder I can't defeat him. Senior, thank you very much. Lin Xian bowed. Then he took the crimson dragon and went to the southernmost land. Chapter 6192. In the extreme south, in the boundless sea of fire, young Master Gui was still waiting. However, at this moment, an old man landed in the distance. The old man cupped his fists and said, reporting to young Master Gui, the Ghost Emperor and the Wind Ghost Emperor have died. How could it be? Young Master Gui was stunned. Both of them were quite impressive among the martial monarchs. The two of them joined forces and even had 2 black gourds. How could they die? Who did it? Did a super great emperor come? The old man behind shook his head and said, I don't know. Young Master Gui, what should we do next? Young Master Gui frowned tightly. Trash! What a bunch of trash! Since the Ghost Emperor had died, no one would attack the extreme north. It was useless for him to wait here. It seemed that he had to go back and swallow more souls, and infuse them into a few powerhouses. Although they were powerful, the great emperors were not unlimited. Every great emperor was a real powerhouse. What they could do was to use a secret method to condense into something similar to a great emperor, but their combat strength was definitely not as good as a real great emperor. However, if they didn't care about the cost, they could make more. At present, they could only win with numbers. Just as young Master Gui was about to go back and take action, a loud voice sounded between heaven and earth. People of the Ghost Clan, get out of the Hidden Emperor's star. Otherwise, I will kill every one of you. I will send you all to hell. This voice spread throughout the Hidden Emperor star. For a moment, countless people looked up. The martial artists of the Hidden Emperor star were shocked. Had someone come to help them? The people of the Great Emperor family were even more excited. This was Lin Wudi's voice. Lin Wudi was going to go all out. Damn it! After hearing this, the powerhouses of the Ghost Clan were angry. Who was so arrogant? They were not convinced and released a powerful aura. However, what welcomed them was an overwhelming amount of sword chi. The entire Hidden Emperor star was enveloped by the arrow rain, and wherever it passed, a large number of Ghost Clan powerhouses fell. Ah, what a terrifying aura! It was a peerless powerhouse. Quickly hide the aura of our Ghost Clan. The remaining Ghost Clan powerhouses no longer dared to be presumptuous. One by one, they tore open the ground, drilled into the ground, and hid their aura. They trembled in fear. At this moment, it was as if doomsday had come. In the extreme south, young Master Ghost was dumbfounded. The old man behind him was also dumbfounded. So arrogant? Young Master Gui, please make your move. Now, it seemed that only young Master Gui could do it himself. Young Master Gui nodded and said, Okay, then I'll go and destroy half of the Hidden Emperor star first. He took a step forward and prepared to leave. However, in the next moment, he was stunned. There was no need for me to leave. I could feel a powerful aura approaching. Is someone coming to the southernmost land? Who was it? Was it the expert who had spoken arrogantly earlier? Young Master Gui stood with his hands behind his back, waiting. The old man at the side was also stunned, and he stopped as well. However, he looked as if he was facing a great enemy. In the next instant, they saw 2 figures appear in the sky, a human silhouette and a dragon silhouette. It was the divine dragon of the Divine Union. The people of the Ghost Clan were very familiar with the Crimson Dragon because they had fought with it many times. This mystical dragon had ambushed the Soul Pagoda more than once. As for the other young man, he was unfamiliar with him. Who are you? Were you the one who killed our Ghost Clan's experts? Kneel down and accept your death. The old man below shouted coldly. Lin Xian glanced at the other party and slapped him. The old man quickly retreated, but he was still sent flying by the slap, and half of his body was smashed. He screamed in horror. Young Master Gui frowned and thought, You are so arrogant. Are you looking down on me? He snorted coldly, and the aura on his body erupted. This was the aura of a great emperor, a super great emperor. 2 strands of immortal chi surrounded him, making him look extremely terrifying. You are young Master Goe, right? I didn't expect you to be in the southernmost land. Well, where did I want to find you? I'll destroy you. Since I've met you, I'll send you to hell. Lin Xian said, You are really arrogant. No one on this planet dares to say such things to me. Tell me your name. I won't kill nameless people. Young Master Goe snorted coldly. In the sky, Lin Xian looked down. He said, Then listen carefully, I am Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi, the person who proved his Tao in the universe 100 years ago. After hearing this, young Master Gue's expression changed, and his face was full of disbelief. That's right, it seems that you have heard of my name. In that case, you should know that you are no match for me. Kill yourself, don't make me do it. Ha 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 ha, you're really arrogant. Young Master Gue looked up to the sky and laughed, and a trace of coldness appeared in his eyes. It was said that 100 years ago, you were hit by the heavenly punishment and had already died. I didn't expect you to still be alive. What a surprise. However, it doesn't matter. Even if you are alive, you are just an ordinary great emperor. Let me kill you with my own hands. Killing a top genius like you should be very fun. Young Master Gue walked over, and the killing intent on his body became more and more terrifying. He raised his hand, and a ghost shadow slapped out. As soon as this light appeared, the sky fell and the earth cracked. The crimson dragon's hair stood on end. He said, Kid, be careful. This guy is a super great emperor. Moreover, he is unfathomable. As he spoke, he flew into the distance. Lin Xian's expression was also solemn. Young Master Gue was indeed strong. It was said that he was the disciple of the Ghost Immortal and had attained the Tao for many years. Now it seemed that his strength was indeed extraordinary, far surpassing the previous Ghost Emperor and others. But he was not afraid. Although he had just attained the Tao for 100 years, he had condensed the power of an immortal after all. His strength had long surpassed ordinary great emperors. Even if it was a super great emperor, he was not afraid. Thinking of this, he snorted coldly and punched out. The two collided and turned into ashes. Interesting. To be able to block my attack, it seems that your strength is really heaven-defying. This way, it would be more interesting to kill. Young Master Gue laughed loudly and rushed over again. Let me see if you, Invincible Lin, are really as powerful as the legends say you are. He waved his palm and slapped out tens of thousands of handprints in a row. Each of them had incomparably terrifying power, enough to make any great emperor despair. Buzz! Lin Xian rushed over, waving his golden fist, which turned into countless suns, sweeping in all directions. The surrounding sea of fire seemed to be mobilized, forming a boundless storm. The two figures collided, as if two peerless gods of war were fighting. After one strike, heaven and earth were destroyed, and the hidden emperor's star shook violently. Countless emperor clans and ancient families were shocked. They looked into the distance. In the extreme south, a peerless battle was taking place, the aura that surpassed that of a great emperor. It was Lin Gongzi's 9-yang divine body. Who was his opponent? Was it a super powerhouse of the ghost clan? They hoped that Lin Gongzi would win. They prayed in their hearts. In the sea of fire that filled the sky, young Master Gue laughed loudly. It's useless. Kid, you have the 9-yang divine body, right? So what? Such a physique can't threaten me, unless you take out an even more terrifying flame. Otherwise, you can just wait for death. Chapter 6193. Ghost Fire descended. Young Master Gue formed a seal with his hands, and black flames jumped out from his fingertips. Combined with the two immortal energies, The sky instantly split open, and endless black flames rushed out. It was as if black meteors were falling one after another, covering the entire southernmost land. Seeing this scene, the Crimson Dragon's face changed drastically. Did this guy want to destroy the hidden Emperor Star? Even if Lin Xian dodged such meteors, what about the hidden Emperor Star? It would definitely be riddled with holes, and it might even be shattered into dust. Kid, let's die together with this planet. Young Master Gui's eyes were ferocious. Lin Xian shouted coldly and waved his sleeve. Cosmos, sword array. At this moment, on the hidden Emperor Star, everything was a sword. The stones of the villa, the rivers, the palaces, and the pavilions all had terrifying sword energy against the meteors and meteors that filled the sky. At the same time, Lin Xian condensed the power of the immortals and slapped out. Boom! The power of this palm surpassed everything, and with a power that could split the sky and earth, it rushed forward. Suddenly, the ghost fire meteors shattered, and a huge black hole appeared in the sky, as if it was going to devour everything. After the attack, Lin Xian and young Master Gui floated in the void. Between them, there was a super big crack. In the distance, the Crimson Dragon breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he blocked it. The expression of the old man on the other side changed. How could this be? He knew the strength of young Master Gui. He was a super great emperor and no one could match him. But now, a great emperor who had just proven his Tao 100 years ago could compete with young Master Gui. This world was too crazy, wasn't it? This Lin Wuti was too strange, wasn't it? Your strength is just SO. Lin Xian said in a deep voice, if you want to destroy this world, you have to defeat me first. Otherwise, you won't have any chance. Did he block it? Young Master Gui frowned tightly. What was that power just now? Why had he never seen it before? Could it be that he had really succeeded in reaching that step? He remembered some legends. 100 years ago, Lin Wuti proved his Tao in the starry sky, and he walked the path of immortals. It was said that it was a fusion of divine fire and immortal qi. At that time, no one thought it would succeed, but Lin Wuti did it in the end. However, it did not seem to be stable. In the end, its body was torn apart by the power of the gods. Next, the heavenly punishment would strike them, making them wish they were dead. But now it would appear that his divine power was still present. No, this person had to be killed. He couldn't allow such a heaven-defying character to exist. Thinking of this, he coldly shouted, "Fine, then I'll kill you first." Previously, his attack range had been too wide. This time, he attacked Lin Xian alone. All of the power was condensed into a single point, and its might was even stronger than before. Boundless willow, the wisps gathered in his hand, forming a long black spear. The spear thrust out like a descending black dragon. Boom! Lin Xian did not dare to be careless. The other party had mobilized the power of 2 strands of immortal qi. Even with his 9-yang divine body, he was unable to withstand it. Therefore, he instantly unleashed the power of an immortal. At this moment, Lin Xian seemed to have transformed into an immortal king as he rushed over. Opening and closing his palms, he used his physique to resist the other party's long spear. Every strike was earth-shattering. In the blink of an eye, 10 moves had passed. The two were evenly matched, and it was difficult to determine the winner. The black-robed elder was stunned. 2 strands of immortal qi could not suppress the other party. It was impossible. One had to know how difficult it was for a great emperor to cultivate 1 more strand of immortal qi. Some could not cultivate it even after tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years. The gap between them was too big. However, the scene in front of him seemed to have subverted everything. The Crimson Dragon was also excited. He roared and said, "Ben Huang also wants to kill a great emperor." He rushed towards the black-robed elder, and the 2 of them also fought. On the other side, Lin Xian and young Master Gui were still fighting. In the blink of an eye, 100 moves had passed. The power of an immortal on Lin Xian's body became more and more resplendent. He said, "You are indeed very strong. But so what? I haven't drawn my sword yet. When my long sword comes out of its sheath, you will definitely lose. You still want to draw your long sword, but I won't give you the chance." Young Master Gue roared, and then the power in his hand erupted again. This time, 10 arms grew out of his body, 10 black palms. All kinds of strange weapons condensed on them, and all of them rushed over. Each strike had the power to destroy heaven and earth. This was a super great emperor, far beyond ordinary great emperors. Immortal technique. 10 ghosts destroy the world. 10 weapons fell down fiercely, enveloping Lin Xian. Young Master Gue roared, "Even if you have the power of an immortal, so what? You will be reduced to ashes." 10,000 swords returned to the sect. Tens of thousands of sword qi rushed out of Lin Xian's body, sweeping in all directions. It collided with the other party's 10 weapons, and an earth-shattering sound was heard again. Between heaven and earth, flames danced, and those sword qi hit the 10 ghost Dao weapons and kept retreating. After succeeding in one strike, Lin Xian attacked again, and with his fingers like a sword, he slashed down. Heaven-defying sword technique. Dragon God slash. The sword qi turned into a giant dragon and rushed down, tearing young Master Gui's 3 arms apart. Black blood danced between heaven and earth, and screams were heard. Young Master Gui retreated. His hair was disheveled, and his whole face was ferocious. Boom, boom, boom. After a few more strikes, 6 arms were broken, and only 1 arm was left on young Master Gui's body. He was covered in blood. In the distance, the old man fighting with the Crimson Dragon was horrified. Young Master Gui was injured and seriously injured. It was incredible. Just as he was distracted, the Crimson Dragon's tail whipped him and sent him flying. Many cracks appeared on his body. In front, young Master Gui roared, "I'll fight you. I'll show you the real ghost parade." He slapped his head with his only arm, and immediately blood flowed out of his 7 orifices, and this black blood turned into hundreds of black holes around him. One after another, incomparably terrifying, ghostly figures emerged from within. The long spear in young Master Gui's hand changed into a black bell. It shook gently. He shouted angrily, "Ghost Parade, attack with me." Hundreds of figures rushed over, and it was extremely terrifying. Young Master Gui shouted angrily, "With this move, I can sweep away all the super great emperors. There was even a super great emperor who was seriously injured by me and couldn't recover for 10,000 years. Let's see how you resist." At this moment, ghosts wailed and wolves howled. As soon as the ghost parade appeared, a vision of heaven and earth swept across the entire hidden Emperor Star. The people on the hidden Emperor Star were terrified and desperate. Such an attack seemed to be able to destroy the entire star world. Could Lin Gongzi resist it? They all became nervous. So powerful. Ghost Parade, what a terrifying attack. Lin Xian also looked solemn. He had to admit that this young Master Gui was indeed very strong, not an ordinary super great emperor. However, it seemed that the other party wanted to go all out. Could the Knight of 100 Ghosts kill him? Too naive. The next moment, he waved his hand, and an ancient long sword appeared in his hand. Lin Xian said, "This sword is called the Immortal Killing Sword. It is a divine weapon. 100 years ago, I fought with a sword master and saw his peerless swordsmanship. I admired it very much. Back then, he had been raising the sword for 140 years. When he pulled out the sword, the sky fell and the earth cracked. Now, I have been raising the sword for 100 years. What kind of power will it be when I pull out the sword this time? I'm looking forward to it. You feel it well." Chapter 6194. Previously, in the land of destiny, Lin Xian had fought with the Sword Emperor of the Imperial Sword Villa. The Sword Emperor's sword-nurturing technique had indeed surprised him. Therefore, he also began to nurture swords. Now he had met this super-great emperor who used the Ghost Parade. Lin Xian knew that it was time for him to draw his sword. In front of him, 100 figures were extremely terrifying. They covered the sky and the earth, causing the starry sky to change color. No super-great emperor would dare to fight them head-on. At this moment, Lin Xian held the hilt of the immortal slaying sword. In the next moment, he drew his sword. Clang! The sound of a sword resounded through the 9 heavens. Immediately after, the entire hidden Emperor Star was enveloped by this peerless sword light. At this moment, everyone's eyes widened, because they saw that there seemed to be a peerless sword shadow soaring into the sky. After a sword strike, heaven and earth were split open. Buzz! The long sword returned to its scabbard. Lin Xian stood there like a young sword god, and the 100 ghosts in front of him stopped. Cracks appeared on their bodies, and then they shattered with a cracking sound. Boom! 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 Hundreds of figures shattered one after another. This scene was extremely spectacular. When the black-clothed old man saw this scene, he knelt down. Young Master Gui, even the Ghost Parade couldn't kill him. Moreover, was it broken by the other party? That was the night of 100 ghosts. For tens of thousands of years, it had swept through everything and was invincible. Now, it was destroyed by a sword strike. Ah! Young Master Gui let out a miserable cry. His body was also split in half. Looking at the disappearing figures of the 100 ghosts, he trembled in despair. What kind of sword strike was this? It was too terrifying. I want you to die. I won't let you live. Young Master Gui roared. Although he was seriously injured, he didn't die. The Crimson Dragon also exclaimed, "Impossible, right? Is this guy immortal?" In the next moment, 2 black gourds flew out of young Master Gui's broken body. Then the gourd split open, and tens of millions of ghosts floated around. Absorb them. Young Master Gui roared and began to absorb the tens of millions of ghosts. Then his broken body began to heal, and the consumed strength was restored. It was too strange. The Crimson Dragon gasped. Lin Xian snorted coldly. How many powerhouses have these millions of ghosts killed? He deserved to die. Kill! The immortal slaying sword erupted with power once again, fusing with the power of the gods. The sword slashed out, and young Master Gui retreated. Cracks appeared on his body again. The second sword, the third sword, young Master Ghost's body, broke open again. He was going crazy. Do you want to die? He spat out 2 shields to block the attack. But very quickly the shield was sent flying. He quickly fled. You can't escape. Lin Xian coldly shouted as he chased after them. Young Master Ghost fled into the depths of the Sea of Fire. He wanted to rush into the land of Extreme Yang. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The next moment he threw out the fairy-slaying sword, which instantly pierced through young Master Gui's body. With a clang, young Master Gui was nailed onto a flaming mountain. He released a miserable cry. His body broke apart into pieces, allowing him to escape. However, at this moment, Lin Xian waved his hand again, and a fragment appeared. The fragment of the reincarnation sword, together with the Eye of Reincarnation, transformed into the phantom of the reincarnation sword. No, young Master Gui was in despair. The other party actually had such a powerful trump card. He wanted to escape. At this moment, his soul turned into millions of clones and fled. However, under the shroud of the Six Paths world, how could he escape? In the end, young Master Gui died. The millions of resentful spirits around him vanished into thin air, dead. When the black-clothed old man in the distance saw this scene, he was so scared that he turned around and ran. Young Master Gui was so terrifying. He was a super great emperor. Moreover, he even used the Night of 100 Ghosts. However, he still died. How could he fight? He was no match for him at all. Where could he escape to? The Crimson Dragon chased after him. With a wave of its dragon claws, it tore the other party's body apart. However, he was not like Lin Xian. Although he could defeat a great emperor, it was too difficult to kill one. To be honest, other than Lin Xian, it was also very difficult for others to kill a great emperor. Unless there was an absolute suppression, it was very difficult to kill someone of the same level. In the end, Lin Xian attacked again and killed the black-clothed old man with the immortal slaying sword. Between heaven and earth, a rain of blood appeared. The entire Hidden Emperor star seemed to be shrouded by a sea of blood. There was no other way. Young Master Gui was a super great emperor. His death directly condensed the heaven and earth phenomenon. At this moment, everyone in the universe sensed it. The people in the other star realms were also shocked. Did an unparalleled powerhouse die? Who was it that made the move? Phew! Lin Xian exhaled and then said, Ruzalong, return to the divine union. Join forces with the Yi family, Gu family, and other great emperor families. From now on, clean up the ghost race for me. After saying that, he sent out 5 strands of immortal power and handed them to the Crimson Dragon. At the critical moment, it was used to deal with the great emperor. Okay. The Crimson Dragon nodded and left with the 5 strands of immortal power. Next, Lin Xian would probably enter the land of Extreme Yang. Looking at the back of the Crimson Dragon, Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. The next moment, he waved his hand and put away the immortal slaying sword. Then he looked forward. This should be the land of Extreme Yang. According to the White Bear, if he entered this place, there might be a great opportunity. What exactly was there? He didn't know. He only knew that it was left behind by a god. Lin Xian was still very curious about this. Furthermore, young Master Gui from before was here as well. Could it be that the other party also had designs on this land of Extreme Yang? This made Lin Xian even more surprised. What was inside? Looking at the flame in front of him, Lin Xian didn't act rashly. The Aeon Glacier had guardian, so there should be one here too. Therefore, he cupped his fists and said, 9 Yang Divine Body Successor, Lin Xian greets Senior. Buzz! The flame sword in front of him shook violently. Then a figure walked out of it. It was a person. To be exact, it was a tree man. It was a figure whose entire body was burning with flames, but whose body was made up of trees. The tree man said, I am the guardian of the land of Extreme Yang. Young man, you have the 9 Yang divine body, right? I have already felt your physique in the previous battle. You are qualified to enter. Do you want to go in? Yes. Lin Xian nodded. The next moment, the fire tree waved his hand. The volcano behind him slowly cracked open and a passage appeared. Go in. What can you get? It depends on your luck. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian walked in. By the time he entered the tunnel, the endless volcanoes had recovered, and the cracks from before had disappeared. Lin Xian entered the depths of the endless volcano. He was very surprised. There was another world inside. Lin Xian circulated the power of the immortals to protect his body and walked inside. At the same time, the Crimson Dragon returned to the Divine Union and immediately gathered people. At the same time, he gathered the Gu, Yi, Great Emperor, and remote antiquity families. Everyone gathered in one place. The Crimson Dragon said, Everyone, it's time to fight back and completely eliminate the ghost race. When the families and sects heard this, they all gasped. Lin Gongzi wasn't going to make a move? They weren't very confident. The Crimson Dragon said, Young Master Gui, the super great emperor who created the ghost race, has been killed by Lin Xian. Apart from that, we also killed 3 great emperors this time. Therefore, there weren't many ghost race elites left. The others were nothing to be afraid of. So many great emperors had died, including young Master Gui. Was the sea of blood formed because of young Master Gui's death? The Yi Gu and others were stunned. Chapter 6195. The death of young Master Gui shocked the people of the Hidden Emperor Star. At the same time, the people of the ghost race were also terrified. The depths of their souls were trembling. They knew that young Master Gui was dead. Hurry up and leave this world. The buried Emperor Star was too dangerous. Even a super great land could die there. How could they be a match for it? They reported this matter to the Ghost Immortal. The Ghost Immortal Old Ancestor would definitely avenge them. Once the Ghost Immortal Old Ancestor made a move, the Hidden Emperor Star would definitely be reduced to ashes. The people of the ghost race also started to move. However, just as they were about to leave, the Crimson Dragon and the others had already killed their way over. The Hidden Emperor Star's all-out counterattack had erupted. The ghost race still had terrifying experts. Among them, 2 experts had arrived. They swept through the 4 directions, putting a lot of pressure on the people of the Hidden Emperor Star. Even their extreme Dao weapons were beaten until they lost their luster. The Crimson Dragon took out a strand of immortal power and flew out. In an instant, the 2 experts were reduced to ashes. When the Crimson Dragon made a move, the people of the Hidden Emperor Star were overjoyed. They no longer had any worries. In this battle, the ghost race was very miserable. They were chased into the starry sky, and their blood dyed the universe red. In the end, except for a few people who managed to escape, the others had all died. Great, we won. The people of the Hidden Emperor Star laughed heartily. We successfully drove the ghost race out of the Hidden Emperor Star. Many thanks to the Divine Union. Many thanks to Lin Gongzi. Master, did you see that? I have avenged you. Disciple, you can rest in peace. One voice after another sounded. On this day, everyone returned and began to worship the dead. The Crimson Dragon and the others heaved a sigh of relief. The crisis had finally been resolved. However, they didn't know how Xue Qi and Lin Xian were doing. What could they obtain after entering the extreme south and the extreme north? In the extreme south, inside the endless volcanoes, Lin Xian was incomparably shocked. He didn't know what was happening outside. However, he had obtained a piece of information from there. It turned out that this was indeed something left behind by God. Moreover, there was a treasure inside. This treasure made his eyes turn red. This was left behind by the God of 9 Suns. Those who possessed the divine body were the true cultivation incantations. At first, Lin Xian was shocked. Could it be that the 9-yang divine body he cultivated was fake? However, he soon understood. It was not fake. Rather, the realm that he was currently cultivating was not the final realm of the 9-yang divine body. The reason why the 9-yang divine body had such a name was not only because it was one of the most terrifying physiques in the starry sky. Another reason was that such a physique could be cultivated all the way to the God realm. In other words, he would become a land immortal. This was the true meaning of the divine body. Lin Xian was shocked when he heard this. He really didn't know about this before, and no one had ever told him about it. Truth be told, he had arrived at the land of destiny right after confirming his Tao. The next step was to change his fate. After stabilizing his immortal power, he came back to kill everyone. However, how would he cultivate after becoming a great emperor? Even now, he was still at a loss. He only knew that he should cultivate immortal qi and divine fire, and then condense a second immortal qi or a second divine fire. However, he didn't know anything else. Now he understood. After becoming a great emperor, there were still many paths to take, other than condensing immortal qi and divine fire. It was also very important for the cultivation of the physique, as well as the cultivation of immortal spells and divine abilities. In fact, some great emperors had to give up their original cultivation techniques after breaking through. Then, they would create the great emperor's ancient scriptures. For example, those great emperor's family had left behind the great emperor's ancient scriptures. That was the ancient scriptures that the great emperor had created for his future path. These ancient scriptures included new cultivation methods, as well as the cultivation of the physique. As for Lin Xian's 9-yang divine body, he didn't need to cultivate it again. This was because the 9-yang divine body could be cultivated to the land immortal level. However, it was unknown whether this cultivation technique had been lost or what. What Lin Xian had obtained so far was to cultivate to the level of 10 Crown King. There was nothing further. But now, there was a follow-up cultivation realm. Can I continue with my cultivation now? Lin Xian was overjoyed. He had to obtain this chant. At this moment, the voice of the guardian of the fire tree sounded in the cave. He said, "Young man, this is the chant left behind in the land of extreme yang. From the beginning of the 9-yang divine body to the supreme great emperor. Isn't it complete?" Lin Xian was stunned. "It's not complete. It's missing the last part. However, it's enough for you now. The last part is not in the hidden emperor star, but in another world. When the time comes, you can go and look for it. There are clues here. So that's how it is." Lin Xian nodded. "I wonder how Xueqi is doing? It should also be the cultivation method of the 9-yin divine body. Is it all? Or is it only a part?" However, even if it's only a part, it made him extremely happy. He could cultivate to the supreme, great emperor realm. In other words, if he obtained it, he wouldn't need to worry about the cultivation method for the next period of time. Then how do I get it? Lin Xian asked. The guardian of the fire tree said, "There are 2 tests. If you pass, you will be able to obtain it." The first test was the cultivation method of the 9-yang divine body all the way to the supreme, great emperor realm. Lin Xian already had this part. However, he still gave it a try and successfully obtained it. As for the second part, it was to cultivate to the supreme, great emperor realm. He didn't have this part. Therefore, he had to obtain it. The fire tree waved his hand, and purple flames appeared in front of him and condensed in a space. The second test was actually very simple. However, it was also very difficult. You have to walk into the sea of purple flames and persist for a month. If you don't die, you will have successfully passed. Let me tell you, these flames are extremely terrifying. It's even possible that supreme great emperors can't withstand them. No problem. Thank you, senior. I'll go now. Lin Xian stomped his foot and entered the purple flames. In the next moment, he felt that his body was splitting open. With his current physique, he couldn't withstand it. However, he still had the power of the gods. With a cold shout, the power of the gods spread throughout his body. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, sat down cross-legged, and began to resist the purple flames. 1 month? He would definitely succeed. In the extreme north, in the Aeon Glacier, Xueqi was also very surprised. Is this the cultivation method of the 9-yin divine body? If I have the follow-up cultivation method, I will be able to become a supreme, great emperor faster. Xueqi was also very excited. Next, she also had to undergo the test. Her test was to walk through the Aeon Glacier. The cold air inside was very terrifying. If one couldn't pass through it, they would be sealed in ice and would never be able to come out. However, Xueqi still walked through it without hesitation. Lin Xian and Xueqi were undergoing the test here. At the same time, the ghosts that had escaped from the Aeon Glacier were all injured. They were frantically escaping. They wanted to find the ghost immortal. In the depths of the universe, there was a 10,000 ghost palace. This palace was created by using all kinds of heaven and earth energy. The entire palace was paved with countless white bones. Moreover, there were all kinds of ghost faces floating around it. Before one could even get close, one would feel an eerie and terrifying feeling. No one dared to come here. This palace was personally created by the ghost immortal. At this moment, the ghosts that had escaped from the hidden emperor star all returned to the 10,000 ghost palace. They knelt on the path of white bones and cried, "Ghost immortal old ancestor, please save us." The hidden Emperor Star was too despicable. It actually killed young Master Goe. "Please, ghost immortal old ancestor, destroy the hidden Emperor Star." Chapter 6196. The door of the 10,000 Ghost Palace opened, and a figure walked out. It was a woman. She was not beautiful, but the aura on her body was extremely terrifying. After she came out, the people in front of her immediately stopped shouting and exclaimed, "Greetings, Ghost Master." The woman in front of them was called the Six-Fingered Ghost Master because she had 6 fingers on her palm. Not only that, she was also the disciple of Ghost Immortal. Moreover, she was Ghost Immortal's eldest disciple and young Master Ghost's senior sister. After she came out, she said coldly, "What's the matter? Who allowed you to be presumptuous here?" The leading man knelt on the ground and said, reporting to the Six-Fingered Ghost Master, "Young Master Ghost is dead." What's going on? The Six-Fingered Ghost Master's face also changed. Young Master Ghost was her junior brother, and he was her master's favorite junior brother. There should be no danger for him to go to the hidden Emperor Star this time, because the powerhouses of the God realm were all restrained by them. Moreover, the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty was in the true spirit world and would not go to the hidden Emperor Star for the time being. Therefore, the hidden Emperor Star could be said to be very safe. Then, who killed young Master Ghost? Buzz. The next moment, the Ghost Master reached out her palm, grabbed the person in front of her, and began to collect his soul. "No, spare my life." That person let out a blood-curdling scream, but he soon turned into ashes. The Six-Fingered Ghost Master frowned. "Who is it?" What a waste. She then collected the souls of 2 more people and combined the information she had obtained. These people really didn't know how young Master Ghost died. However, a great battle had taken place in the extreme south previously. After that battle, young Master Ghost died, and the other person in the battle was very likely Lin Wudi, who had disappeared for 100 years. Because in these people's memories, Lin Wudi came. Lin Wudi returned to the hidden Emperor Star and swept away everyone. This news made the Ghost Master extremely surprised. Although she didn't personally participate in the incident 100 years ago, she also knew that Lin Wudi was a big problem for the Nirvana realm. She originally thought that he was hit by the heavenly punishment and his soul was torn apart. Who would have thought that he would come back? She must get rid of him. She was shocked and said, "I know about this matter. None of you are allowed to tell anyone." His master was not in the Immortal Palace at the moment. He had gone to the 9 underworlds. If Master finds out about little junior brother, even if you have 100 lives, you won't be able to survive. Do you understand? Yes, we understand. Those experts hurriedly nodded. All right, during this period of time, stay in the Immortal Palace. Don't go anywhere and listen to my orders. I will take you back to the hidden Emperor Star. I will personally capture Lin Wudi and bring him to Master. Young Master Goe's matter was indeed not easy to handle. The Ghost Immortal would definitely go crazy and fly into a rage. Therefore, in order to appease his master's anger, Ghost Master decided to suppress this matter first and then capture Lin Wudi. At that time, the Ghost Immortal should not be so angry. But what realm had Lin Wudi reached? Great Emperor? Super Great Emperor? Or an even higher realm? She wasn't sure. However, it was said that 100 years ago, the other party walked the path of immortals. That was a path that no one had ever walked before, and no one in the future. Since the other party was still alive, did that mean that he had succeeded? How terrifying was the power of an immortal? She wasn't sure. Although she was more powerful than young Master Goe, she was not willing to take the risk. She would find someone to accompany her. Ghost Master thought for a moment, and then the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. She knew who to look for. The next moment, Ghost Master's figure flickered, and he left the palace of 10,000 ghosts, flying to the other side of the universe. He came to the deity ground. At this moment, the deity ground was no longer the paradise on earth, because it was also swept by the Nirvana realm. Many families had submitted to the Nirvana realm, providing power and resources for them, and those who resisted were killed with a palm strike. Some people from the Nirvana realm even hated the Nirvana realm very much. They began to join the divine realm, and the two sides began to fight again. Therefore, at this moment, the deity ground was stained with blood, and there were many cracks in the void. After Ghost Master arrived, he flew straight into the depths of the deity ground like a bolt of lightning. Here there was a safe place. It was a mountain range like a flying fox. The mountain range was incomparably huge. The mountain had appeared out of nowhere. Under the mountain range, countless families and sects were crushed. This was the method of one of the 5 land immortals of the Nirvana realm, the Fox Immortal. The Fox Immortal was fighting in the heavenly land. Therefore, he directly condensed a fox mountain range in the deity ground near the heavenly land. He let his subordinates cultivate here. At this moment, the Fox Mountain occupied an extremely large area, and demonic chi filled the air. No one knew how many spirit veins of heaven and earth they moved from the deity ground and placed here. Although it was not comparable to the spirit veins in the ancient city, it was much more terrifying than the other worlds. On this day, a figure descended on the Fox Mountain, and the powerhouses of the Fox clan inside were immediately furious. Who was it? How dare they come to the Fox Mountain and behave atrociously? They held weapons in their hands, and their demonic chi filled the air. The whole world was shaking. It's me. A woman with an ordinary face and dressed in black appeared. When the powerhouses of the Fox clan below saw her, they immediately bowed. So it's the 6-fingered Ghost Master. Greetings, Lord Ghost Master. I'm looking for the 9-tailed fox. Where is he? Take me there. The Ghost Master did not waste any time and said coldly, What? The foxes below hesitated. One of them said, Lord 9-tailed Fox is still cultivating. I'm afraid it's inconvenient to disturb him. The Ghost Master snorted coldly. I have important matters to discuss with him. I found something good left behind by the ancient gods. Is he not interested? If not, then forget it. Then I'll go find Master Rashi's subordinates. After saying that, the Ghost Master wanted to leave. At this time, laughter came from the depths of the Fox Mountain. So it's Senior Sister Ghost. My seclusion is over. Senior Sister, please come in. Lord Ghost Master, this way please. The fox below hurriedly led the way. In the depths of the Fox Mountain, there was a fairy-like place on earth. There was a lake there, and a figure stood on the lake. This person was a man incomparably handsome, with 9 tails behind him, gently dancing. The surface of the lake was calm, without a trace of ripples. Senior Sister, what is the ancient god treasure you mentioned? The 9-tailed fox in front asked with a smile. The Ghost Master snorted coldly. Your ears are quite sharp. I did find the ancient god treasure. However, you and I need to work together. Where? The heavenly land or the netherworld? The 9-tailed fox asked subconsciously. In his opinion, both of them were disciples of Earth Immortals. Moreover, they were direct disciples. How powerful were they? If the two of them worked together, the place they went must be extremely dangerous. However, the Ghost Master said, It's not in these 2 places, but in the hidden Emperor Star. Hidden Emperor Star? The 9-tailed fox was stunned. Is it very dangerous there? Do you need the 2 of us to work together? Although there were many great emperor families in the hidden Emperor Star, they couldn't beat them. If one of them went there, they could sweep everything away. Chapter 6197. Previously, The hidden Emperor star wasn't much and couldn't enter our eyes. But now it was different. An incredible person had come to the hidden Emperor star. The six-fingered ghost master said coldly. What kind of person could make senior sister so afraid? Nine-tailed fox didn't believe it. Could it be a peak great emperor? The deity realm shouldn't have sent such a great emperor. Could it be that some ancient existence had awakened? Have you heard of Lin Wudy? The six-fingered ghost master asked. Lin Wudy? The person who walked the immortal path 100 years ago? Wasn't he already dead? Why did he mention him? Nine-tailed fox was puzzled. The six-fingered ghost master said he didn't die. He appeared in the buried Emperor star and became very strong. He killed my junior brother. What? Young Master Ghost was dead? Nine-tailed fox was extremely surprised. She knew young Master Ghost's strength. Although he wasn't as strong as them, he was still a great emperor. How could he die like this? Even if he couldn't win, it was possible for him to escape. Also, how did Lin Wudy survive? All of this was too strange. The six-fingered ghost master said, This time we will go to the buried Emperor star. First, we will kill Lin Wudy. Second, there are many treasures in the buried Emperor star. This time I plan to explore it. This treasure was left behind by the ancient god. Nine-tailed fox was stunned. What did you say? Left behind by the ancient god? Are you sure? If it was just Lin Wudy, she might not be interested. But the treasure left behind by the ancient god was different. To them, this was a heaven-shaking fortune. Now, I can't tell you about this treasure, but after we take down Lin Wudy, we will explore it together. This time, I want to destroy the entire buried Emperor star. So you should prepare. I will also go prepare. 1 month later, we will set off. 1 month? Nine-tailed fox was surprised. Would it take so long? The six-fingered ghost master said, I plan to use a secret immortal technique to condense a group of fake emperors. Nine-tailed fox frowned. The so-called fake emperors were the power formed by the fusion of countless souls. They were comparable to great emperors. Of course, they weren't real great emperors, but they won in numbers. Lin Wudy may not be a threat, but the treasures left behind by the ancient gods are not so easy to obtain. Prepare well. With that, the six-fingered ghost master left. After leaving, she returned to the 10,000 Ghosts Palace and began to gather the army of ghosts. In an instant, countless ghostly figures rapidly condensed. The six-fingered ghost master made his move. Myriad worlds in the heavens heed my command. Myriad ghosts shall reign supreme. The devouring began. In an instant, billions of ghosts began to devour everything in a frenzy. All sorts of ghostly wails and wolf howls rang out. Between heaven and earth, a sinister wind swept out. It was extremely terrifying. On this day in the universe, countless planets and worlds were terrified. They saw a sky full of ghostly shadows circling around and devouring their souls. At the same time, in the depths of the universe, auras comparable to great emperors appeared one after another and exploded. Countless people were terrified. Did someone confirm their Tao and become an emperor? Impossible. Within 10,000 years, it was impossible to attain the Tao in the universe. This terrifying aura lasted for a month. A month later, 100 figures stood in front of the 10,000 Ghosts Palace. The tens of millions of ghosts from before had already disappeared. As for the 100 figures, each of them was comparable to a great emperor. They were the false emperors. Greetings, Ghost Master. The 100 peerless experts bowed respectfully to the six-fingered Ghost Master. The six-fingered Ghost Master was incomparably excited. That was great. This was the first time she had gathered so many experts. This kind of power could definitely sweep through everything. What was Lin Wudy? With a wave of his hand, he could turn Lin Wudy into ashes. Even if it was a treasure left behind by an ancient god, he was confident. He would use these 100 great emperors to open the treasure. Let's go. In the next moment, the six-fingered ghost master made his move. He soared into the sky and flew into the distance with the 100 experts. At the same time in the Fox Mountain, Nine-Tailed Fox also made her move. She brought countless experts of the Fox clan and quickly descended. This time, they wanted to make the buried Emperor Star disappear from the universe. At this moment, the buried Emperor Star had been peaceful for a month. During this month, they had been living quite comfortably. The previous battles had caused them to suffer countless casualties. Now, they could finally rest and recuperate. However, the good times didn't last long. On this day, they felt the entire world tremble violently. Countless cracks appeared as if the world was about to be destroyed. Damn it, what happened this time? The martialists on the buried Emperor Star were stunned. They were suppressed to the point that they couldn't move at all. The people from the great Emperor family were also terrified. This was the power of a great emperor. Moreover, there was more than one of them. Why did it feel like there were hundreds of them? Impossible. How could there be so many great emperors? They quickly contacted the Divine Union. The people from the Divine Union were also on guard. The Crimson Dragon's eyes were about to pop out. He also felt the aura of more than 100 great emperors. Could it be that the entire Prometheus sect had attacked? Damn it, let's go. Let's go quickly. The Crimson Dragon roared furiously. He quickly brought his people and left. In the next moment, countless figures in the sky moved. One after another, large hands slammed down. The world shook violently. Some people instantly turned into a bloody mist. The mountains, rivers, and sects below were destroyed once again. Ha ha! I want to punch through this planet. A six-tailed fox sneered. He punched towards the buried Emperor Star. He wanted to punch through this world. However, this time he let out a blood-curdling scream as his palm opened. His body turned into ashes. What was going on? In the sky, the people from the Fox tribe were stunned. The Nine-Tailed Fox also frowned. Don't attack this world first. This world is very strange. Even the ancient god left behind treasures here. It can't be destroyed easily. Let's attack the martial artists inside first. After we kill all of them, we can study this planet's world. Yes, the people from the Fox tribe no longer attacked the buried Emperor Star. Instead, they started attacking the martial artists inside. On the other side, the six-fingered ghost master had also arrived with 100 fake emperors. They were like peerless gods that had descended on this world. Seal. In an instant, they sealed the buried Emperor Star and the nearby starry sky. No one could escape. Not good. The people from the Gu family were also in despair. The spatial passage that they had just opened had actually been destroyed. They couldn't leave at all. The people from the Yi family had ugly expressions. The Qilin tribe and the Phoenix tribe were even more desperate. They had already seen hundreds of figures standing there like gods and demons. Their aura was comparable to that of a great emperor. Impossible. The Crimson Dragon roared. Were these people from the Ghost tribe? How could the Ghost tribe have such powerful strength? One must know that this was only a portion of the Ghost immortal strength. If the Prometheus realm was so terrifying, there was no need to fight at all. Even the deity realm was no match for it. They still didn't know that although these fake emperors were comparable to great emperors, they couldn't last for long. They could only last for 10 days. After 10 days, these experts would be turned into ashes. The price to pay was huge. One must know that this had already consumed most of the strength of the Ghost tribe. If they failed this time, it would be very difficult to gather so many fake emperors again. Therefore, the six-fingered Ghost Master was also staking everything on this one throw. Chapter 60-198. Despair began to spread throughout the hidden Emperor Star. They couldn't resist at all. If there were several great emperors, or even 10 great emperors, they were confident that they could fight them. Even if they couldn't defeat them, they could still leave. But now, More than 100 great emperors were absolutely suppressing them. They didn't have any chance of winning. Kill the ants below. The six-fingered ghost master in the sky issued an order. The experts of the ghost clan started to attack. It's over. We're doomed. Some people were in despair. At this moment, a voice came from the northernmost land. When the Crimson Dragon heard it, he cried out in alarm, "That's Shue-Chi's voice! Quickly, half of you go to the northernmost land. The rest of you follow me to the northernmost land." Immediately, the martial artists on the hidden Emperor Star started to flee toward the south and north. At this moment, Shue-Chi walked out of the northernmost land. She waved her hand, and the eternal glacier erupted with boundless might, forming a world of ice and frost. A barrier of ice was formed, and the people who entered the ice world were protected by it. The experts outside rushed over. The terrifying power hit the glacier, causing an earth-shattering sound. The glacier continued to shatter. Shue-Chi furrowed her brows. Why are there so many great emperors? To be honest, this was beyond her expectations. For the past month, she had been walking on the ice world's path. Finally, she succeeded. She had passed the ice world's path, and she had obtained the secret cultivation technique for the divine body. At the same time, her strength had increased. Originally, this was a good thing because she had found the direction of her future cultivation. She could continue to cultivate toward the great emperor realm. However, she didn't expect that she would encounter so many powerful enemies after coming out. She asked, "What's going on?" The toad was the one who led these people to the northernmost land. The toad spat out a mouthful of saliva and said, "How would I know?" In the past month, everything had been peaceful, but suddenly so many experts had arrived. "I think Higgin has gone crazy, and he sent out his entire army." That's impossible, right? The final battle couldn't be fought on the hidden Emperor Star. Shue-Chi furrowed her brows. She asked, "Where's my husband? Where is he?" The toad said he hasn't come out yet. "I don't know what's the situation." Shue-Chi said, "I can't hold on for long." He actually blocked it? Up in the sky, Nine-tailed Fox frowned at the sight. He directly blasted it open with absolute power. He roared furiously. However, the six-fingered ghost master said, "Don't act rashly. That place is not ordinary." She was shocked. What's going on? The land of the extreme north should be one of the treasures left behind by the ancient city. How could there be people there? Could it be that the other party had obtained the treasure? Impossible. Even young Master Goe did not succeed. How could an ordinary, great emperor succeed? However, no matter what, she couldn't kill Shue-Chi easily. She wanted to capture him and slowly collect his soul. There was also the Aeon Glacier, which could not be easily attacked. She had dispatched some experts comparable to great emperors to deal with them. These peerless experts only attacked the Guardian of Ice and did not attack other places. This made the people inside heave a sigh of relief. Nine-tailed Fox frowned when she saw this, but she did not say anything. He was also waiting for the ancient god's treasure. This was the situation in the far north. On the other side, there were countless experts chasing after the Crimson Dragon and the others. These people ran toward the far south. When they arrived at the southernmost land, Lin Xian was nowhere to be seen. However, the experts behind them had already caught up. What should they do? The Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth and said, "Go to the Flaming Mountain." These people began to climb the Flaming Mountain. Many of their bodies cracked. However, it was better to hide here than to die outside. In the Flaming Mountain in the far south, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The purple flames around him slowly disappeared. A month has passed. I finally made it. At this moment, his body was broken. Countless cracks had appeared on the terrifying Nine-Yang divine body. In the next moment, Lin Xian took out the divine vitality liquid from the sword world and began to swallow it. The cracks on his body quickly healed. At the same time, he stood up and said, "Senior, I have successfully passed the test." That's right. The soul of the fire tree rang out. You can get the follow-up cultivation method. With that, in the depths of the flaming mountain, a ray of light flew out from an ancient wall. There were originally countless words on the wall. However, at this moment, these words disappeared. They all flew into Lin Xian's mind. Lin Xian felt that he was quite tired. There was a lot of information. It was really the cultivation method of the 9-yang divine body. He could cultivate to the super great emperor level. That's great. This way, before he became a land immortal, he wouldn't have to worry about his physique. He really wanted to cultivate immediately. However, at this moment, the fire tree said you'd better go out, because there was a huge change in the terrain. It seemed that countless people wanted to destroy the world. Hearing this, Lin Xian's expression changed. Big change. Not good. Could it be that the people of the Ghost Clan had made a comeback? He couldn't care less. The fire tree said, "I can't help you too much. I'm only responsible for guarding this ancient god's cave." "I understand, Senior. I can handle it myself." Lin Xian walked out. As he did so, his aura began to rise once again. The power of the entire ancient god's cave fused into his body. Lin Xian was shocked. He felt that his 9-yang divine body had become stronger again. "Thank you." Lin Xian was overjoyed. In the next moment, he let out a long roar and walked out. After coming out, his expression changed, because he felt that there were dozens of powerful figures in front of him. Great Emperor? No, they weren't real great emperors. The other party didn't have divine fire or immortal qi. In front of him, a great battle had already broken out. The Crimson Dragon rushed out and fought with 5 experts. These 5 peerless experts attacked together. The Crimson Dragon was actually able to fight evenly. However, he only killed one and retreated. After spitting out a mouthful of dragon blood, he said, "Damn it, this is not the way. No, we can't beat him." The Crimson Dragon's face darkened. "I'm strong enough to fight 5, okay?" However, he soon sighed. So what if it's 1 against 5? There were 36 great emperor-level experts in front of him. He was no match for them. Boom! At this moment, a golden fist swung over from the distance and directly enveloped 2 great emperor-level existences. There was a loud boom. The bodies of the 2 Ghost Clan experts split open and turned into ashes. Were they dead? The cultivators of the hidden Emperor Star, hiding in the Flame Mountain, were all shocked. So powerful! The Crimson Dragon turned around and then cheered. "It's Lin Xian. He's out of seclusion." "Great. What? Is it Lin Wudi?" "We have hope. We can live. Although there are 36 experts in front of us, so what? Lin Wudi has created countless miracles. Lin Gongzi will definitely be able to take us out of here. Yes, let's leave the hidden Emperor Star and go to the universe. Why don't we go to the deity ground?" All kinds of discussions could be heard. They felt that Lin Xian had created a miracle by slaughtering his way out and leading them away. However, Lin Xian had no intention of leaving. He said, "Don't worry, I'll kill these fake emperors." It wasn't the first time he had seen these experts in front of him. The ghost race had swallowed tens of millions of souls and condensed them into powerhouses. They were not real great emperors. Lin Xian didn't take them seriously. What's more, his current strength was stronger than before. Chapter 6199. You're alone? You're courting death. The 10 peerless masters in front of him rushed over. They ran through heaven and earth, and the aura on their bodies shattered the 9 heavens. "Not good. Kid, be careful." The Crimson Dragon also exclaimed, "If it doesn't work, let's leave. Where there's life, there's hope." Lin Xian laughed. "I don't care about these pieces of trash." As he spoke, he made a move. A sun god sword flew out and instantly cut a master in front of him in half. His soul was miserable, but no blood flowed out because these people were not real creatures. They were just monsters. The other 9 masters were furious. They rushed over crazily, wanting to kill Lin Xian together. Lin Xian made a seal with his palms, the divine seal of 9 suns. A huge golden handprint covered the hotel and shook a volcano by the lake. A sea of fire swept across the sky. The 9 masters were shrouded by this huge handprint. Their bodies swayed, and fear appeared in their eyes. No, damn it, how was this possible? They were crazy. What kind of physique was this? The other party fought against 9 of them alone. In the next moment, the bodies of the 9 people shattered, and their remnant souls were burned to ashes by the divine fire of 9 suns. Dead. Everyone was dumbfounded. The people on the fiery mountain couldn't believe it. The Crimson Dragon also exclaimed, "This guy is stronger than before. What happened in the past month? What kind of fortune did he get?" Buzz. Another punch was thrown out, and the 10th Peerless Master was blasted into pieces. I thought that after I killed young Master Gue, you people of the Ghost Clan wouldn't dare to come again. But I didn't expect you to be so reckless. Since that's the case, go to hell. Lin Xian stomped his foot and rushed over. The remaining dozen or so peerless masters roared. A great battle broke out in an instant. However, Lin Xian was even more terrifying. The sun god's sword in his hand erupted with endless power. He split 2 masters with one sword. Another sword strike pierced through 5 experts. Just like this, every time he attacked, he could injure the peerless masters on the opposite side. After dozens of moves, the peerless experts on the other side fell one after another. In the blink of an eye, 36 martial monarchs vanished into thin air. Lin Xian stood in the void like a peerless god of war. Is it over? The people on the flaming mountain couldn't believe it. They were dumbfounded. The 36 peerless experts from before had almost driven them to despair. At one point, they thought that they were dead for sure. Even if Lin Xian came, he could only take them and escape. But who would have thought that this was not the case at all? After Lin Xian came out, he was extremely powerful. He directly killed 36 great emperors. The Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "Kid, you've become a super great emperor?" Lin Xian said no. Moreover, although these people were peerless experts, they were not true great emperors. You don't even have divine fire or immortal chi. So how can you resist my immortal power? That's great. The Crimson Dragon said, "In that case, let's kill our way over. There's still some people in the far north." Lin Xian nodded and said, "I sensed it. Let's go." With a wave of his sleeve, he tore open the void with the Crimson Dragon and the others and disappeared. At the same time, a demon fox below was fleeing quickly. The scene he saw before was too shocking. He had to go back and report it. "Master Nine-Tailed Fox, not good. Our people were killed." "What happened?" In the sky, Nine-Tailed Fox frowned tightly. "What happened in the far south? 36 experts have all died. How is this possible?" The 6-fingered Ghost Master also exclaimed, "Did a super great emperor appear?" "Damn it, let's go and take a look." An extremely terrifying light burst out of their eyes. Then they tore open the void and flew toward the far south. Not long after they left, Lin Xian and the others appeared in the far north. At this moment, the glacier in the far north had been shattered, and the people inside were also desperate. There were many experts here, and 72 great emperors. Among them, in addition to the power of the Ghost Clan, there were also some experts of the Fox Clan. When the 2 sides joined forces, they were extremely powerful. If it weren't for the fact that the 6-fingered Ghost Master didn't want to destroy the ancient god's relic and kill Xueqi, the glacier would have been shattered long ago. Even so, it couldn't hold on for long. Damn it, there are more people here. The Crimson Dragon's scalp went numb. There were 72 of them, which was double the number of people on their side. Boy, can you do it? Lin Xian nodded and said, no problem. This time, his deity power burst out and condensed into a deity sword. Kill! Lin Xian shouted loudly and slashed down with the sword. Boom! In front of him, 7 great emperors were shattered, and they screamed miserably. Among them, there were 3 experts of the Fox clan. Immediately, demonic blood spread out. The people inside the Ice Guardian were all stunned. However, when they saw that it was Lin Xian who attacked, they cheered. Husband, Xue Qi also cried out in surprise. In the next moment, she also rushed out. Lin Xian said, let's kill them first. Okay. Xue Qi nodded and stood side by side with Lin Xian. At the same time, the peerless experts on the other side shouted angrily, kill these 2 guys! There were dozens of them, so how could they not kill them? Those great emperors attacked from all directions, causing the hidden emperor star to shake violently. Thousands of large cracks appeared in the 9 heavens. Everyone in the universe was terrified. What kind of battle was going on there? Was it a battle between 100 experts? The 9 yin and 9 yang fused together, and Lin Xian and Xue Qi unleashed their divine bodies. At this moment, the 9 yin and 9 yang divine bodies displayed their divine might. The 2 figures kept fusing together, and they rushed out like a tai chi of ice and fire. Everywhere they passed, heaven and earth shattered. The body of a great emperor of the Fox clan was split in half, and in the blink of an eye, 5 Ghost Clan experts were crushed into pieces. Lin Xian and Xue Qi swept through and killed 30 experts in the blink of an eye. The remaining 30, or so experts, were terrified. Damn it, run. They frantically ran away. Previously, when they faced the 2 people, they sneered disdainfully. But now they were horrified. This was the combat power of a great emperor, and it was not something they could resist at all. In the extreme south, 2 figures appeared. They were the 9-tailed fox and the 6-fingered ghost master. After they arrived, they frowned. The battle here is over. The 9-tailed fox exclaimed, what terrifying information! I feel an unusual power in this place. Also, the extreme north just now. He looked at the 6-fingered ghost master and said, are these 2 places the cave abodes left by the ancient gods? Don't lie to me anymore. Otherwise, I won't attack you again. The 6-fingered ghost master knew that he couldn't hide it anymore. The guy in front of him was no weaker than him. She said, yes, they're the cave abodes of the ancient gods. So, I didn't ask you to use your full strength in the extreme north. If you break some of the arrays, I'm afraid we won't be able to get in for the rest of our lives. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I will be careful. The 9-tailed fox snorted. The 6-fingered ghost master said with a smile, it's okay. After we destroy these ants in this world, we have plenty of time to find them slowly. As soon as her voice fell, her expression suddenly changed. Damn it, what's going on? Why do I feel that the experts of the Ghost Clan are dying one after another? Chapter 60-200. Oh no, something happened in the extreme north. The 6-fingered ghost master's expression changed drastically. The same went for 9-tailed fox. Her brows were tightly furrowed. It could be seen that the extreme north was surrounded by a boundless sea of blood. The experts of the Fox clan were dying one after another. Damn it, they were courting death. The 2 of them roared angrily and turned around to leave the extreme north. At this moment, everyone was extremely excited. Lin Xian and Xue Qi were really too strong. The combination of the 9 yin and 9 yang was enough to sweep through everything. Those fake emperors were no match for them at all. Boom! Lin Xian attacked again, killing those who were escaping. However, at this moment, a black pagoda fell from the sky and blocked Lin Xian's palm. With a boom, a vast ocean-like power swept out. Lin Xian retracted his palm. He was surprised. A super great emperor had arrived? Xueqi also frowned. In the next moment, she saw an ordinary-looking woman descend. This woman was surrounded by ghostly fog, and she was abnormally terrifying. The killing intent in her eyes was not concealed at all. This was the six-fingered ghost master. After she descended, she looked at the surrounding scene, and her expression became extremely unsightly. So many fake emperors had died. One had to know that she had brought almost all the forces of the 10,000 Ghost Palace with her. She had lost so many people this time, and she had no way of explaining herself when she returned. You are unforgivable. You all deserve to die. The six-fingered ghost master gritted her teeth and roared. Just you? Lin Xian snorted coldly. You want to come to the hidden emperor star? You should be prepared to be killed. You are courting death. The six-fingered ghost master roared angrily. She pointed her finger over, and the ghostly qi around her finger suddenly exploded, and a destructive power swept out. Every piece of space in the surroundings was constantly being shattered. Her finger was her strongest weapon. This finger strike made countless people feel despair. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Get lost. With a furious roar, he also pointed his finger. Dazzling sword qi danced on his fingertip. In the next moment, the two collided, and a sonorous sound rang out. One had to admit that the six-fingered ghost master was extremely powerful. Her finger was a divine weapon, and it was even more terrifying than an extreme Dao weapon. Therefore, her fingers were not injured at all. This was her strong capital. You're Lin Wudi, aren't you? You're not as strong as I thought. Next, I will let you experience what it means to live a life worse than death. The six-fingered ghost master's cold voice resounded. She quickly charged towards Lin Xian. You're overconfident. Just now, I only casually pointed at you. Furthermore, you're a level higher than me, yet you can't even hurt me. I don't know what you have to be proud of. After saying that, Lin Xian attacked again. With a wave of his arm, an even more terrifying sword qi burst out. This sword was indestructible and seemed to be able to destroy the heavens and the earth. Lin Xian's sword had become even more terrifying than before. Boom! Boom! There was an earth-shattering collision. The six-fingered ghost master was actually pushed back by this sword. He crushed the void, withdrawing into the distance, his expression ugly to the extreme. Lin Xian, on the other hand, laughed heartily with his sword in hand. What a joke! Didn't you say that I'm weak? Aren't you looking down on me? Then why were you pushed back by me? Super great emperor, you're really trash. Hearing Lin Xian's mockery, the six-fingered ghost master's expression was extremely ugly. To be honest, she really couldn't believe that a super great emperor could kill an ordinary great emperor so easily. However, this time she miscalculated. Her opponent's power wasn't divine fire or immortal qi. Instead, it was a fusion of power. Was this the power of an immortal? It was indeed powerful. This made her even more determined to kill him. She definitely couldn't let him live. Can you do it? If not, I'll do it. At this moment, Nine-Tailed Fox also walked over. As soon as his voice fell, a huge claw came, slashing towards him. Between heaven and earth, a demonic beast's claw appeared, carrying with it endless precepts and great daos as it streaked across the sky. The endless void shattered. This attack could raise an entire world to the ground. The demonic fox's claw instantly appeared above Lin Xian's head, wanting to smash it into pieces. Lin Xian shouted coldly, "Who do you think you are? Get lost." Boom! Another sword turned into a shocking divine dragon, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws, slamming towards the demonic fox's claw. With a loud boom, the demonic fox's claw was torn apart. Nine-Tailed Fox snorted coldly and retracted his palm. There were cracks on his palm. Unforgivable. The pain was driving him crazy. He had actually been injured by a great emperor at a lower cultivation level. Embarrassing, this was too embarrassing. Kid, I'm going to kill you. The demonic chi on Nine-Tailed Fox's body continued to spread. The 9 tails behind his back completely bloomed. A sense of apocalyptic crisis erupted from his body. At this moment, the ghost tribe and the fox tribe experts who were running away also stopped. They looked at this scene in disbelief. This kid really had the strength of a super great emperor. He could actually injure Nine-Tailed Fox and force the Six-Fingered Ghost Master to retreat. No wonder he could kill them as if he was cutting vegetables. This kid was dead meat. Lord Nine-Tailed Fox would definitely kill him. The fox tribe expert gritted his teeth and said, "That's right, Nine-Tailed Fox was going to attack with all his strength." However, the Six-Fingered Ghost Master walked out and said, "This prey is mine. Don't fight with me. Go find the others." "Oh, really? Well, I'll kill the others first. This woman is that kid's partner, right? Then I'll capture her first." Then, Nine-Tailed Fox attacked Shue-Chi. Shue-Chi's expression changed, and she quickly retreated. At the same time, she activated the 9 Divine Body, and the 9 Serenity sword appeared in her hand. She slashed out with her sword. With a clang, Shue-Chi was forced back. However, she was not seriously injured. She had dodged the attack. This surprised countless people. Nine-Tailed Fox's expression was even more unsightly. Lin Wudy could injure him because of the power of an immortal. How could this woman do that? She was just an ordinary great emperor. Even if she cultivated the divine body, so what? He was a super great emperor. His body could crush his opponent. Thinking of this, he roared angrily and charged forward. Lin Xian's expression darkened. "You're courting death." He wanted to attack, but the Six-Fingered Ghost Master stopped him. The Six-Fingered Ghost Master said with a smile, "I'm your opponent. As for your partner, I'll let you watch her die. All of you attack together." Lin Xian said. The Crimson Dragon and the others also charged forward to fight. Of course, they did not dare to fight in close combat. After all, they were no match for a super great emperor. However, they could attack from afar. The hidden Emperor Star still had many supreme weapons. At this moment, they attacked with all their strength. Lin Xian transmitted his voice to Shue-Chi, telling her not to take the attack head-on. She just had to dodge the attack. "You don't have to worry about me. This guy can't kill me. Previously, when I was in the Aeon Glacier, I didn't just obtain the cultivation method of the divine body. I also obtained other treasures." This surprised Lin Xian. This was because Lin Xian did not obtain any treasures. However, he did not care. The stronger Shue-Chi was, the more relieved he would be. Buzz! Shue-Chi waved her hand, and an ice talisman appeared in her hand. This ice talisman was very simple. The great emperors could not understand the runes on it. It was something left behind by a god. Nine-Tailed Fox's expression changed. He wanted to retreat. However, it was too late. The ice talisman was slapped into the void. Immediately, the space was covered by ice. Chapter 6201. The space where the ice talisman was made the Nine-Tailed Fox's movements very slow. Seeing this, Shue-Chi breathed a sigh of relief. This ice talisman was really magical. On the other side, Lin Xian also relaxed. He turned to look at the Six-Fingered Ghost Master and said, "Now, I'll deal with you with all my strength." Lin Xian charged at the Six-Fingered Ghost Master. The two of them fought fiercely. The 6 fingers of the Ghost Master were extremely terrifying. With earth-shattering power, they wanted to tear Lin Xian's body apart. However, Lin Xian's sword was also extremely terrifying. Coupled with the power of the immortals, it was not weaker than the 2 immortal energies of the opponent. From the beginning, the 2 of them were evenly matched. The 6-fingered Ghost Master could not stand it anymore. She began to use her trump card. She took out a weapon that was passed down to her by her master. Her master was a ghost immortal, and the weapon given to her was very powerful. It was a black cauldron with 3 ghost faces on it. After she took it out, the 3 ghost faces floated out as if they could bite everything. Seeing that the opponent had used her trump card, Lin Xian was no exception. He took out the fragment of the Samsara sword and summoned the phantom of the Samsara sword. As soon as the fragment appeared, it sent the black cauldron flying. Cracks appeared on the soul of the 6-fingered ghost master, splitting it into 2 halves. She fled in horror. The power of the Samsara? It almost killed her. This guy was too dangerous. The trump card in his hand was too powerful. The Samsara sword was one of the 5 swords in the world. She was suppressed. She gritted her teeth and looked at the fake emperors in the distance who were still alive. These people were all created by her. At this moment, she said, "Give me your last bit of power." She stretched out her hand. Those fake emperors wanted to escape. But how could it be possible? Their bodies split apart, sucked into the black cauldron, rolling about inside. Soon, a weapon flew out of the cauldron. It was a long black saber with heavy resentment on it. This slash was enough to split a super great emperor in half. "Boy, I'll see how you die this time." With this saber, the 6-fingered ghost master's strength increased greatly. She must capture him and ask the secret of the power of the immortals. She rushed forward. However, Lin Xian laughed. "Is that all you have?" He took out another fragment of the Samsara sword. 1 defensive move, 1 offensive move, both of which caused the other party to sway nonstop. The 6-fingered ghost master's expression changed drastically. He wanted to retreat, but it was too late. She was pierced again. "You're really trash. You're not much stronger than your junior brother." Lin Xian said coldly, "Young Master Ghost has already gone to hell. Go down there and find him." After Lin Xian finished speaking, he slashed out with his sword. Not good. The 6-fingered ghost master felt his life being threatened. She knew that if she did not pay a price, she would not be able to leave. Thus, she separated her soul and used her body to block the attack. Boom! Boom! Her body split open. The self-destructive power of a super great emperor was enough to destroy everything, even if it was just a body. The hidden emperor's star shook violently, as if it was about to turn into dust. At this moment, everyone was terrified. Lin Xian's expression also changed. "You're courting death." Inside the ice talisman, Nine-Tailed Fox's expression also changed drastically. What happened outside? In such a short time, the 6-fingered ghost master was about to self-destruct? This world was too terrifying. He also wanted to escape, because he did not dare to be enveloped by this power. "Let's die together." A crazy expression appeared on the 6-fingered ghost master's face. The remaining part of her soul fled into the distance. She wanted to watch these people fall from the 9 heavens. However, at this critical moment, somewhere in the hidden Emperor Star, a dragon's roar sounded. Then endless sword light danced in the air, shattering the destructive power. It was the aura of the great dragon sword. Lin Xian exclaimed, "Is Xianyuan attacking again?" One had to know that there was a Lord Xianyuan who was extremely terrifying. Had he come out now? The others also raised their heads to look over. However, they did not see any figure at all. Only the biting cold sword energy was sweeping across. The self-destructive power formed by the super-strong body quickly disappeared. No, the 6-fingered ghost master's expression changed drastically. The remaining soul quickly fled. "Where are you going?" Lin Xian punched out, tearing the soul of the 6-fingered ghost master into pieces. On the other side, Nine-Tailed Fox did not care about anything. Her hand split open, and the destructive power tore open the ice. Then she fled into the distance. Lin Xian snorted coldly and wanted to chase after her. However, at this moment, a voice came from under the ground. "Don't chase after them." Lin Xian stopped in his tracks when he heard the voice. Lord Xianyuan. He remembered the other party's voice. He said, "Lord Xianyuan, if we don't kill these people, they will come again in the future." This nine-tailed fox was also very powerful. Except for Lin Xian, no one else on the Hidden Emperor Star was a match for her. Even if Xueqi could use the ice talisman to restrain her, she could not kill her. A super great emperor was nothing to be afraid of. Lord Xuanyuan's voice sounded. He said, "Little guy, you are lucky and unlucky to be able to come back at this time." Lin Xian was stunned. "Senior, what do you mean?" Lord Xianyuan sighed. "Heaven's punishment is coming. You can't escape. Of course, with your immortal power, you might be able to bring unexpected changes to the God realm. So you are lucky and unlucky." What is heaven's punishment? After Lin Xian asked, the great dragon sword soul in the sky flew down and formed a sword cage. It enveloped the remaining demon clan experts who were still alive. Those people knelt on the ground in horror. "Spare our lives. How dare they resist?" Even a super great emperor was no match for it, let alone them. Xianyuan killed these people. The great dragon sword soul in the air swung its tail and returned to Lin Xian's side. In the next moment, it entered Lin Xian's body. There were two things. First, the great dragon sword soul was yours. Now, it has returned to your side. You don't need me to keep it for you. Second, heaven's punishment is coming. This is a disaster for all the realms. Not only the God realm, but also the Hidden Emperor Star. Hurry up and prepare. I will send a message to the people of the God realm. Go and gather everyone. Soon, the people of the God realm will come looking for you. After this voice, Lord Xuanyuan's aura disappeared. Lin Xian took a deep breath and said, "Everyone gather." They quickly returned to the Divine Union. The great Emperor clans and the remote Antiquity clans also followed. They did not know what was going on. Lin Xian furrowed his brows tightly. Master Xuanyuan's strength was terrifying. What realm had he reached? He did not know. However, even he said that the situation was serious. He was afraid that a world-destroying storm was coming. Chapter 6202. The people outside still didn't know what had happened on the Hidden Emperor Star. However, the nine-tailed fox had escaped. His arms had been broken, and the bleeding had stopped. However, they still hadn't grown back. After all, it was impossible for him to recover instantly from self-destruction. He would probably need to cultivate for a period of time to recover. However, he couldn't care less about that. He had to go back and report to his master, Immortal Fox. The Hidden Emperor Star was too terrifying. Moreover, he had to report about Lin Wudi. A person with the power of an immortal was definitely a peerless enemy. The nine-tailed fox flew back to Fox Mountain, wanting to enter the Heavenly Land to look for his master. At the same time, in the Heavenly Land's Qing City, everyone's bodies trembled. They heard Xuanyuan's voice transmission, and their expressions immediately became solemn. "Oh no, the heavenly punishment is coming. How can it be so fast? Damn it, we have to prepare quickly. Otherwise, none of us will be able to escape." Immortal Fox and the other Nirvana Realm powerhouses who were attacking outside also stopped. They looked up at the sky, and then they were overjoyed. "Retreat." Immortal Fox waved his hand and led the group of powerhouses to retreat quickly. On the way, they met the nine-tailed fox. "Master." The nine-tailed fox was about to cry. Just as he was about to say something, Immortal Fox waved his sleeve and took him away, saying, "We'll talk when we get back." They quickly returned. They didn't go to Fox Mountain at all. Instead, they returned directly to the Nirvana Realm. It wasn't just the Heavenly Land. Ghost Immortal was also fighting with Lin Zhan and the others. However, not long after, Ghost Immortal raised his eyebrows and exclaimed, Is it time? In the next moment, he retreated with his people. As he left, he sneered, "People of the divine realm, wait for your death." Had they left? The people of the divine realm were injured and pale. The battles over the years had caused them to be severely injured. After all, their opponent was Bayan. However, after retreating, they heaved a sigh of relief. However, Lin Zhan, Lord Alcohol, and the others frowned. Something's wrong. The Nirvana realm wasn't at a disadvantage. Why would they retreat? Soon their expressions changed. They also heard Xuanyuan's voice transmission. "Oh no, let's go. Seal the ancient city. Let's return to the heavenly land and head to the heavenly land's Qing city." On the other side, Ghost Immortal returned to the other side and found that Fox Immortal, Yuan Immortal, and the others had already returned. He said, "Is he going to start?" The few land immortals nodded. At this moment, Immortal Fox revealed a meaningful smile. "You Fox, what's the meaning of this? Are you plotting against me?" Ghost Immortal snorted. Immortal Fox chuckled. With a wave of his hand, Nine-Tailed Fox walked out from behind him. "Disciple, tell me about the hidden Emperor Star." The Nine-Tailed Fox told him about the hidden Emperor Star. When Ghost Immortal heard this, his expression changed. "Both of my disciples are dead." He was really too shocked. The reason for that was because he had immediately returned after receiving the news. He had not even returned to the 10,000 Ghosts Fairy Palace. He really didn't know what happened to his two disciples. However, he now knew that his little disciple, young Master Gui, had died in the hidden Emperor Star. Following that, his first disciple, the six-fingered Ghost Master, gathered all of the strength of the myriad Ghosts Fairy Palace. He created a group of fake emperors and joined forces with Nine-Tailed Fox and the others to kill their way over. But even so, he still died. Those fake emperors all fell, and the six-fingered Ghost Master was also killed. "How did you escape? Did you hit someone when they were down?" Ghost Immortal snorted and stared at Nine-Tailed Fox. Suddenly, immortal power erupted from his body. Nine-Tailed Fox felt that the sky was about to collapse. "Master, save me." Immortal Fox snorted and waved his sleeve, blocking Ghost Immortal's attack. "Are you not putting me in your eyes?" "Old Ghost, my disciple has already said that he couldn't save me at the last moment. It was only because he was lucky that he was able to come back alive. Moreover, he had brought back important information." "What is it? Let's talk about it." The virtual immortal also frowned. This time, several land immortals gathered together. Immortal Fox hadn't said anything, so they really didn't know. Immortal Fox said, "Very important information. Saber Immortal, this is my credit. You have to testify for me." Saber Immortal nodded and said, "No problem, tell me." Immortal Fox then said, "First, there are ruins left behind by two ancient gods in the hidden Emperor Star. What is in the extreme south and the extreme north? I don't know for the time being. However, it is confirmed that it is an ancient god. Second, Lin Wuti is back. He is not dead. He is still alive. He has the power of an immortal." The first news was actually nothing. The hidden Emperor Star was not the only place with treasures. Therefore, the land immortals weren't very surprised. However, the second news made their expressions change. "What? Lin Wuti is not dead? Did he come back from the land of destiny? Did he really completely control the power of an immortal?" These land immortals' expressions became incomparably solemn. One had to know that they all participated in the battle 100 years ago. That battle was extremely terrifying. On the side of the Divine Union, many experts appeared. In the end, the Supreme Elder made a move. But now he failed. Not only did he not kill the other party, but the other party also condensed the power of an immortal. According to my disciple's information, he can use the power of an immortal without any restrictions. He has just become an emperor 100 years ago, and his strength is not weaker than a super great emperor. In addition, he has a trump card in his hand. He is stronger than an ordinary super great emperor. This person is very amazing. Once he breaks through again and becomes a super great emperor, I am afraid that he will be able to threaten us. The land immortals frowned. The power of an immortal? At present, it seemed that he only had unparalleled combat strength. However, who knew if there were any other uses? After all, the other party was the first person to condense this power. The Saber Immortal said, "Then let's hurry and report to the Supreme Elder." In fact, this could be considered a blessing in disguise. That kid came back before the heavenly punishment destroyed the world. He can't escape. He will definitely die in this heavenly punishment. Yes, everyone nodded. Indeed, the heavenly punishment this time wasn't targeted at one person. It directly activated the power of the heavenly Tao. The land immortals discussed and then flew into the distance. They wanted to meet the Supreme Elder. Nine-tailed Fox and the others stayed behind. On the other side, Lin Zhan, Lord Alcohol, and the others returned to Shangqing City. What's going on? Is the heavenly punishment really going to destroy the world? The news from Lord Shenyuan shouldn't be fake. Let's go to the hidden Emperor Star. If the heavenly punishment is really going to destroy the world, I'm afraid it will be troublesome. We didn't prepare for this at all. Lord Alcohol said with a frown. If they could escape this time and not die, the Supreme Elder wouldn't be able to make a move again in a short period of time. This was a good thing for them. However, could they escape this time? All of this was unknown. It was better to go to the hidden Emperor Star and meet Lord Shenyuan first. Lin Zhan and the others set off for the hidden Emperor Star. At the same time, the people of the hidden Emperor Star also gathered. The Divine Union and the others were all asking Lin Xian what had happened. However, Lin Xian didn't know either. Fortunately, on this day, a few terrifying auras came from the sky. Although they were very hidden, Lin Xian still sensed them immediately. It was his father and Lord Alcohol. He released his immortal power. In the sky, Lin Zhan and Lord Alcohol stopped. This power was Xian Er's. Chapter 6203. Lin Zhan and Lord Alcohol came to the Divine Union to meet Lin Xian. The three of them were very excited. It was great that Lin Xian could come back alive. How was the power of the gods? Lin Xian didn't have time to talk about the specific things that happened in the land of destiny. He could only say that the power of the gods was temporarily stable, but he had to go again in 400 years. All right, there was no news about E yet, but he might be able to get it the next time he went. He could go again. This surprised Lin Zhan and Lord Alcohol. One must know that it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens for others to go to the land of destiny. It was practically impossible. However, Lin Xian not only went once, but he could also go again. It was really surprising. However, Lin Zhan frowned tightly. Let's not talk about this for now. It's good that you're back now. Come with me to see Lord Shenyuan. Oh, right, Father, I wanted to ask. Is the Divine Union very dangerous? Let's talk as we walk. Lin Zhan and Lord Alcohol soared into the sky and brought Lin Xian to the Slanting Moon Cave. They were very fast and soon arrived at the Slanting Moon Cave. After entering, they came to the Bodhi tree. Under this Bodhi tree, the fighting god used to sit cross-legged. However, the fighting god wasn't there now. Lord Shenyuan and Lin Xian didn't see him on Dragon Mountain either. That was because they were in another space. However, Lord Xuanyuan's voice was heard. Heaven's punishment is about to start. This matter can be confirmed. There's not much time left for you. Make your preparations. Lin Zhan and Lord Alcohol's expressions changed. Is this being crazy? Isn't the price to pay to activate the power of heaven's punishment? Lord Shenyuan said. Perhaps the Grand Supreme lost face in the previous battle. You have to know how powerful he was in the past. Therefore, I reckon that after that battle he will attack without caring about anything else. I didn't expect it to be heaven's punishment. Lin Zhan said we won't become primes. Let's resist directly. Fortunately, we attacked Shangqing City. The earth veins there are extremely terrifying. With the addition of the great dragon sword soul, the reincarnation sword fragment, and the power of the devouring sword, he should be able to withstand it, right? That will be an extremely difficult process. I'm afraid you'll have to suffer. Moreover, it was impossible for Shangqing City to contain everyone. The myriad realms were about to be destroyed again. The atmosphere became extremely heavy all of a sudden. Lin Xian, on the other hand, asked, "What is Tian Fa destroying the world?" He still didn't know. Lord Alcohol said, "The heavenly punishment annihilation is an extremely terrifying attack that covers all realms." The Nirvana heavenly Tao had once transformed into the heavenly Tao. They were high above and controlled everything. Moreover, they had the complete heavenly punishment sword. If it was cast by the Grand Supreme, it would be the lightning tribulation. Endless lightning tribulations. Most likely, the martial emperors and those above them would have to face the lightning tribulations. The boundless tribulation and the heavenly punishment could destroy the world. It was very likely that all those above the martial monarch realm would be killed. Even land immortals can't avoid it? It was unavoidable. Great emperors, super great emperors, and earth immortals were all within the attack range. Even if the earth immortal didn't die, he would be severely injured. Little guy, do you still remember the first time we met? My aura was very weak. Back then, I was severely injured by the heavenly punishment annihilation. That time I almost died. I didn't expect to face it again this time. I wonder if I can avoid it? It's so dangerous. After Lin Xian heard this, he sucked in a breath of cold air. Even Lord Alcohol wasn't confident. Then there was no need to talk about the others. Was there no chance at all? How could the people of the Nirvana heavenly Tao resist it? There was still a chance. The people of the Nirvana heavenly Tao wouldn't be attacked because it was launched by the Nirvana heavenly Tao. Therefore, some martial emperors could avoid the heavenly punishment annihilation if they joined the Nirvana heavenly Tao. Of course, if they joined at this time, they wouldn't be martial emperors anymore. They would be slaves, prisoners. What awaited them was a fate worse than death. There was another way, and that was to sever one's own blade and destroy the divine fire and immortal chi to retain the body of a martial emperor. However, their cultivation level would fall below the martial emperor, which is the martial emperor you saw before. Those martial emperors had all experienced the great destruction. Back then they had no choice but to be controlled by the Nirvana heavenly Tao. Therefore, they chose to destroy the divine fire and immortal chi. Could they not take this step? Lin Xian asked. I remember that they seemed to be able to recover to their peak. Lin Zhan said, even if they recover to their peak, it's useless. It's basically impossible for them to become earth immortals. After Lin Xian heard this, he frowned. It seems that this path can't be taken. Is there anything else? Lin Zhan said, yes, resist and fight with the divine punishment. If they could persist, they would continue to resist. If they couldn't, they would die. This was the most direct and simple method. Of course, it was also the most difficult method. Lord Alcohol said, we plan to use this method. Now we have an advantage. This time, we can condense the power of the devouring sword, the reincarnation sword, and the divine punishment sword. Although it's not complete, its power is still terrifying. In addition, you have the power of an immortal and the earth veins of Shangqing City. You might be able to avoid this crisis. At this moment, Xian Yuan spoke again. Hurry up and act. I will get the war god to take the reincarnation mountain. Lin Xian was surprised. Lord Xian Yuan, are we still going to fight back? Xian Yuan snorted coldly. Of course. You don't have to worry about this. I'll handle it. I've already jumped out of the divine punishment. This time it can't hurt me. Then Lin Xian and the others left. They returned to the divine union first and took away the crimson dragon. Xueqi and the others. As for the others, they shouldn't be in any danger. After all, the divine punishment this time was targeted at Thearchs and those above them. They took away all the powers above the Thearchs. Lin Xian told these people, "Don't try to break through to the Dao validation realm in the near future." The people from the Thearchs families were shocked. They still didn't understand what had happened. However, they knew that an extremely terrifying thing was about to happen. Lin Zhan even warned these Thearchs families to put their extreme grade weapons into hibernation and not to use them for the time being. After all, the aura of the extreme grade surpassed everything. It was a weapon of the Thearchs. It would be bad if it attracted the divine punishment. Let's go. The group left. At the same time, the Permitha also started to take action. The 5 Earth Immortals met the Grand Supreme together. At this moment, they couldn't reach the Grand Supreme at all. This was because the place where the Grand Supreme was surrounded by endless lightning. Those red lightning had an aura that could destroy heaven and earth, causing the 5 Earth Immortals' expressions to become extremely solemn. They could only bow respectfully across an endless distance. They told the Grand Supreme all the information about their previous battle achievements. The Grand Supreme said in a deep voice, "Next, it's time to harvest." 3 days later, the divine punishment will be launched. The target is quasi-emperors and above. The few Earth Immortals outside gasped when they heard this. Even the quasi-emperors were affected. This was too surprising. This was because the previous time the divine punishment had launched, the target was Thearchs and above. The quasi-emperors were still alive. But now, even the quasi-emperors were targeted by the divine punishment. Soon they all laughed. It seemed that the Grand Supreme was really angry this time. This time, he would let the myriad worlds know what despair was. Chapter 6204. There was a mountain range in the heavenly land. It was surrounded by clouds and mist, and the scenery was beautiful. It was a rare holy land for cultivation. However, it had become the territory of the Heavenly Phoenix clan. In this golden age, great emperors from different eras had appeared. The heavenly land was no longer a secret. Many great emperors cultivated and searched for treasures there. However, no one dared to come to this mountain range. It was enough to show how terrifying the Heavenly Phoenix clan was. The Heavenly Phoenix clan had appeared recently. In fact, everyone in the deity plane knew about them. This was because when they obtained the heaven-earth mysterious yellow pagoda, 2 clans flew out from it. One was the Heavenly Phoenix clan. The other was the Kuan clan. After the Kuan clan came out, they left the heavenly land. At this moment, a deep voice sounded in the Heavenly Phoenix clan. As soon as this voice was heard, the entire Heavenly Phoenix clan was alarmed. Many people's bodies swayed, and their faces turned pale. What happened? The people of the Heavenly Phoenix clan gathered. What were they looking for? However, when they found the reason, they were all stunned. In their Heavenly Phoenix clan, there was an extremely terrifying divine artifact. It was a sword, the Heavenly Phoenix ancient sword. This sword was related to one of their ancestors back in the day. It was said that it was refined from the most terrifying bone of their ancestor. This was the symbol of the Heavenly Phoenix clan. However, today they found a crack on the Heavenly Phoenix ancient sword. Although it was small, it was enough to shock them. The divine object of the Heavenly Phoenix clan was broken? It was unimaginable. Some elders of the Heavenly Phoenix clan exclaimed. A few great emperors frowned. Even the current clan leader of the Heavenly Phoenix clan came out of seclusion. She was a dignified woman with a pair of phoenix eyes that looked disdainfully at the world. Clan leader. The experts of the Heavenly Phoenix clan all looked over. One of the great emperors said, "Clan leader, the Heavenly Phoenix ancient sword is broken." The clan leader of the Heavenly Phoenix clan stared ahead for a while. After pondering for a long time, she finally sighed. She said, The apocalypse is coming. I didn't expect the Heavenly Phoenix clan to be in such danger. If I had known, I wouldn't have come out of the heaven-earth mysterious yellow pagoda. Clan leader, why do you say that? We were trapped in the heaven-earth profound yellow pagoda for tens of thousands of years. Yes, I don't want to go back either. Neither the great emperors nor the young geniuses wanted to be trapped again. Patriarch, what is Armageddon? My Heavenly Wind clan is extremely powerful, and we even have a few great sovereigns. Why should we be afraid of them? This was a calamity for great emperors. When the heavenly tribulation arrived, how many great emperors would be able to survive? No one knew. Prepare for the funeral. At this moment, this dignified woman actually had white hair. One could imagine how much despair she felt. On the other side, in the ninth underworld, a powerful clan had also been established. It was the Kuin clan. The Earth Kuin clan loved to devour the corpses of experts. After they came to the ninth underworld, they searched all the way and devoured the corpses of many powerhouses. His strength was growing stronger and stronger. In their family, there was a black cauldron, which was the symbol of their family. They wanted to use this black cauldron to contain the countless corpses in the world. However, on that day, a crack appeared on the cauldron. No, he actually encountered a heavenly tribulation? That was impossible. The Kuin clan's patriarch roared crazily. He couldn't believe that his luck was so bad. He had just escaped from the heaven-earth, mystic yellow pagoda, and he actually encountered a heavenly tribulation that was rarely seen in a million years. Damn it, I want to break through. I want to devour countless great emperors' corpses. I want to become a land immortal. At this moment, the Kuin clan's patriarch roared crazily. His entire clan attacked crazily on this day, because no one knew how long it would take for the heavenly tribulation to arrive. He had to hurry. After the first day, many powerhouses in the ninth underworld had fallen. When the second day arrived, some of the great emperors in the ninth underworld frowned. There was a sense of uneasiness in their hearts. This kind of uneasiness was indescribable. However, it made them extremely concerned. Was something going to happen? At their level of cultivation, it wasn't a problem for them to live for hundreds of thousands of years. However, they were now worried about their lives. It wasn't just the ninth underworld. The powerhouses in the upper heavens and the other realms were all worried at this moment. In the Supreme Palace, the eyelids of many Supremes twitched wildly. They hurriedly looked for the Grim Reaper to resolve their doubts. The Grim Reaper's face was cold. Impossible, right? Was it the heavenly tribulation? Was Bayan crazy? He hurriedly summoned the Supremes in the Supreme Palace and asked, "How many of you have broken the seal?" The answer he got was that more than half of the Supremes had broken the seal and returned to their peak. After all, this was a golden age, and everyone wanted to do their best. Damn it! The Grim Reaper cursed fiercely. It seemed that more than half of the people were going to die, and he was also in danger. On the God Realm side, Lin Xian and the others had already arrived at Upper Azure City. Lin Xian used the great dragon sword soul and took out 2 fragments of the Samsara sword. Lord Alcohol also used all his strength to activate the devouring sword. The power of 3 of the 5 swords in the world surrounded Upper Azure City. Then he activated the power of the Earth Vein. Upper Azure City was impregnable. It could be said to be the most solid place in the world. Would the heavenly tribulation really come? Xue Qi looked into the distance. Murong Qingqing and Yan Ruyu also came because they had also broken through to the great Emperor realm. After learning about the heavenly punishment, they were also surprised. The warriors below the great Emperor realm still didn't understand. They could only feel that the aura of many great emperors seemed to have disappeared in a day. Could it be that they had all gone into seclusion to cultivate? Some people cheered. It seemed that there wouldn't be another emperor-level battle in the near future. It would usher in a safe period. They would be able to cultivate quickly. Would it be the world of the young people next? Countless geniuses were excited. The second day passed. The third day arrived. On this day, the heavenly supreme Nirvana opened his eyes. The heavenly tribulation came. He waved his hands, and the heavenly punishment sword flew out. Countless lightning bolts covered the world. At the same time, his voice spread throughout the universe. Boom! As this voice was heard, countless thunderous noises echoed throughout the cosmos. The entire void kept shattering. Countless living beings and warriors looked up at the sky. Their faces were full of shock. What happened? Was someone going to transcend the tribulation? There was a great emperor on the heavenly snake planet. This was a rare beast that had broken through to the great emperor realm. It was called the heavenly snake, great emperor. At this moment, the heavenly snake, great emperor, also opened his eyes. He soared into the sky and roared, "Who dares to behave atrociously in my world?" No one answered him. Only endless lightning bolts descended and pierced through his body. With a scream, the heavenly snake, great emperor's body split open, and his blood dyed the sky red. A great emperor had fallen, and his blood had riddled the entire heavenly snake planet with holes. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.